Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 10th episode spectacular of the fabulous one and only Claus and Convo.
You hurt my ears.
I did.
I was not ready for that.
Sorry. I have an announcer voice sometimes.
But it works. It works.
Welcome to Claus and Convo, the show that is sweet and entertaining and also prevents cavities. All that wonderful entertainment without the calories.
No calories.
No calories. I am your zero-calorie host, Dante Padfoot.
I am your feline host, Striker Chiguire.
I am slightly caloristic Trey McIntosh.
Okay, then. And as you can see, we have Trey McIntosh back with us. We got a great show for you guys. Anyone that's, okay, here's the deal. We had to redo the intro here because we forgot to record. Okay?
Why do we need to explain that?
I don't know. We just might be worth mentioning. I don't know.
Yeah.
You realize that people watching the recorded version will be completely unaware of what happened before,
But
Yeah.
so they won't even be able to tell. And the
That's
people who
true.
are already watching will already know what's going on.
let's
Okay, he's got a good point.
pretend
Let's
there was a void in time and space. Something went wrong, and everything just...
Yeah, we're dealing with some microscopic phenomena here.
Yes,
Some-
we are.
some-
Anyways,
I didn't do
Quantum
enough work back and forth.
phenomena.
we got a great show for you guys today. And as you can see, the
Yes.
fabulous and one and only Trey McIntosh is back with us.
Stop it, you're going to make me blush. Oh, no.
You can't blush. You're black.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone's favorite black guy is back in the show. Guy who was backed by popular demand because he's freaking awesome and we love having him on the show.
And I love being on the show.
Yeah, but he's always busy. Poor guy.
Always.
Tomorrow is the O Talent Show.
Yes, the O Talent Show. That'll be exciting. It's basically in our city, Ottumwa, there's a talent show that people can audition for, and then it goes through a semifinals and a finals, and four people make it on from the finals, based off of three judges, and then one person is by popular demand, like the people vote, and that person automatically gets to go on. And so that happened 2 weeks ago, I want to say, or last week. Last week was the semifinals, and then this week is tomorrow is the finals, and we'll get to see the winner, and that'll be all exciting.
Last week Trey couldn't be here because he had I think you had the semifinals on Friday last week, didn't you?
Yeah, the semifinals ran for 2 days.
Yeah.
This time they only run for one.
Oh yeah. So I think it'll be a pretty awesome show. I'm really, really hoping we can get Trey on here as a regular host, but I don't know if that's going to be possible because you always got something going on.
I'll be on here as much as I can, but I do have to do things because I get around, I guess. I don't know. I get around town.
But yep, at least we got you here today, and we're just going to enjoy this. Last week was really lonely. It was just me and Stryker. We didn't have much to talk about. We kind of cut the show early because it was kind of like, it was all, I don't know.
I should have spent like the whole time just singing "Lonely, I am so lonely." It would have been fantastic. Everybody would have watched the show. They were like, "Oh, I know how you feel," or they would have been like,
"Oh my gosh, I know how you feel."
Oh my god, I totally understand.
I've been lonely before. So yeah, do you want to go to Pittsburgh with us?
Pittsburgh during the summer, right?
It's June 1st.
July.
July?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was June.
It's July. Yeah, it's the first weekend of July.
Oh. Well, crap. I didn't know.
Whoa.
Whatever, though. I don't know. It's so far away that it doesn't really
But
matter.
it seems so close.
It does seem so close. Anyways,
I'll
would you
go.
want to come with us?
If I'm not broke, I'll go. Most likely, though.
You might be able to just go when you're broke, though, because we have the wonderful Mr. Hematite Bear who's going to be paying for our hotel. We're actually going to have a house that's like across the
It's a
street.
bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's going to pay for it. He's a really nice guy.
And we have just enough room for you if you're interested in coming.
We might have Kai coming, though, so we might end up having him if Trey doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
There's
It's a cap. There's a maximum capacity of 4 people in this particular environment. So
Emetide Bear is like, and Dante stands at the Pittsburgh Civic Center wondering where everyone is. Lol.
you're the first one there.
Yeah.
It's a David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Really nice convention center from what I've seen of it.
Yeah, I have never been to AC before. It's going to be a really interesting experience. Yes. I've only been to Midwest Fur Fest before, actually, which is really weird because I loved it so much that I should have gone to a bunch of other conventions. But I guess it all boiled down to a combination of it was going to be difficult to afford it, and difficult to afford it, and nobody would give me a ride, and I didn't feel like driving a beater car all the way to Pittsburgh. So.
And speaking of beater cars, that's one thing we still got to figure out.
The what?
We still got to figure out what we're taking as far as a vehicle.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, I don't know where I put those, but I can just let you borrow these. Oh, I don't know where they are. I'm sorry. Anyways, sorry about that. Let's see. We start news at half an hour in. Do we have okay? What's it called? Friday Night Tech. Is that going on today or is it not?
I don't believe it is. Actually, we timed it just right. The episode that was just me. I made a half episode, so episode 10 would slide over. And we can have a long one.
Yes, we can. Your mom can have a long one. We're still little children. Oh, we always will be. We're always going to be like elementary kids. Like, oh, one of these days we're going to have to, grow up and tell sophisticated jokes. That's going to be hard. That's what she said. But not today.
Whenever I tell...
We do have an email.
Oh, we do? Cool.
Whoa. Oh, my gosh.
It's titled Room 366.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to go over...
The contents is of a Senate committee schedule.
Is of a what?
A Senate committee schedule.
So...
Energy and Natural Resources Committee. From the Senate.
I see.
I'm not sure I get the joke there.
I don't know.
I'm
to explain it to
all the parts of there. It's in there somewhere. Room 366 Senate. There's something there. It's in there.
Trey, did we ever show you the Dr. Woof parody of Room 366? It was so funny. Basically, it was a video of somebody. Oh, he says it's being held at Room 366.
Oh, room.
Okay, then. Basically, there was a video we showed. Wait, wrong ones. There's a video we showed of a guy that was impersonating, pretending to be Doctor Who. Only they called him Dr. Woof, which is really clever. Anyway, the episode was him going to Eurofurence, which is a furry convention in Europe, and he goes, this is where it happened, the original Room 366, and he walks, at some point in the show, his companion gets stuck in Room 366, and you can hear the music playing, and she's like, what the heck, looks in there, and then later they come out, and they're just, relaxing, and they're like, best party ever. It's freaking awesome.
And then they get in the TARDIS and go forward 1 year to the next.
Yeah, they're just like, man, I want to come back next year. They're like, why wait? That's so cool. Just like, you know, everyone gets PCD, post-con depression, every time they leave, and they gotta wait till the next convention. So yeah, if we could just go ahead a year, that'd be pretty freaking cool.
What's in a box video?
Oh!
That's my dick in a box.
It's my dick in a box.
Well, I've seen that.
There's a furry version.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trey is down for the count. He doesn't even want to see it.
Done.
I mean, I would show it to him, but I can promise you that he's not going to sit still.
we aired it once.
We aired it once and we watched it. So I think I don't know. It would have been funny. Yeah, Kenny actually watched it. Kenny was here when we saw it. So
yeah.
Anyways, you know that I might get a job at the radio station here at Ottumwa if I talk to the guy from Tom FM. I'm going to ask him what it would take, and I'm thinking about either getting an internship there or something, because I would love to be on the radio. That'd be awesome.
That'd be incredible.
I would love that. You guys would be like, oh, Austin's show is on. Let's listen to him. Just turn to 97.7. Tom FM.
Bing, bob, boom. Bob, boom.
Bob, boom, bob, bing.
Keep saying things away from the mic, and then I feel like I have to repeat them. I'll go
a little bit. I mean, if people have their volume up enough, they can hear anything.
Hey, can you hear me?
I think they can. If you watch the levels over there,
Let
like
me know.
we can see the screen that shows us all the levels and stuff.
Yes, those two little bars
Yep.
are the master volume.
See, if we talk really close to the mic, it overloads it. But if I talk away,
it'll hit the Ustream producer has like a built-in limiter thing.
oh really?
And it'll just hit. It'll still sound terrible, but
Yeah.
it'll prevent your speakers from exploding.
That's good.
With any luck.
Yeah, I think I saw one where I was on the App Store one time and I found an app that supposedly raised your volume, but then if you read the fine print, it says that it doesn't actually raise it or something like that. I don't remember, but the point is, it was an app that was supposed to do that, but it didn't actually work. I don't know why they have it on the App Store, but whatever. The world is a really crazy place. You know what I did recently? When we celebrated St. Patrick's Day, I had no money for alcohol. So what I did was I went and cashed in all the cans we had. We have a closet that was filled. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It was filled with cans. Like we just throw bags in there, bag after bag, full of cans, because we get 12 packs of Mountain Dew and all our friends drink it and stuff. So we have so many cans that it filled a closet. I'm not exaggerating. I should have taken a picture of it. So I cashed almost all of them in, and I got like $40. It's pretty cool. It took me all day to get it ready, though. Like, I had to go there, wait in line for like 2 hours, because they have to count everybody's cans, and it took forever. But it was worth it. I mean, waited in line for like an hour or so, and I got $40. I mean, what else are you going to do with the cans? Throw them away? I'm not going to do that when there's money to be made.
Yeah. Who throws them away? What a bunch of idiots.
We got a bunch of... Okay, I also found out during St. Patrick's Day that Irish whiskey is probably the nastiest tasting stuff in the world. It is so gross. Oh, my word. Seriously. I mean, someone might disagree with me because maybe it's a really very, very acquired taste. Like,
Very.
might be. Same thing with beer. Like, once you like it, you really like it. It's also like coffee. But this one, Irish whiskey is
yeah,
so...
think of it, it's Ireland.
Yeah.
They have cast iron livers in Ireland. Cast
That's
iron
funny.
livers colored in the tint of green.
Because everything is green in Ireland.
The leprechauns in disguise.
Yeah.
So I meant to say something because Wine Slender, he mentioned how he doesn't have. He or she mentioned that how they don't have Skyrim, and I just want to let him know. If you like your life and you don't want to lock yourself in your room and spend weeks never leaving, don't buy Skyrim.
Skyrim will consume you.
Consume you. It is very addictive.
Did I tell you that I got Rachel and Andrew to start?
Yeah.
A couple nights ago. Okay, my China Rose. I got her to start a Skyrim account. she actually plays it a lot. Like, she doesn't just go, I don't know what I'm doing. She actually plays it and knows what she's doing. It's really cool. Andrew, who was on here, like, during one of the first episode, let's see. Yeah, during one of the first episodes, Andrew was here, but you guys might have met Andrew a while ago. I got him to start, and he's not a video game person, so he's like, I don't really know how to play this. I'm like, okay, you can just mess around. So he did. He did so much crap. Like, he would run up and steal a horse right under people's noses, and they wouldn't even notice. Like, it was so weird. Because I was like, every time I steal a horse, people act like I'm Hitler.
If I steal a horse, nobody knows. Because I kill them all.
That's true. Actually, yeah, did you know that in Skyrim, if you kill all the witnesses, your bounty will be removed? Unless it's a guard, like the guards, somehow can tell when each other is down.
There's a conspiracy that they have. They're actually a few thousand years advance, and so they've got like an internet. Their brains are wired to the internet. So
you never know.
They're like the Borg.
Our brains already are wired to. I know mine's is. That's all I do. I just go on the computer.
I just go on the computer.
Go on the pooter.
Go on the computer.
It's like a bunch of hicks saw a computer. Hey, Dad's gonna go on the pooter. Anyone gonna join? He's gonna take a poop on the pooter.
What?
He's gonna poop while he's on the computer. Pooter.
What?
Pooter, because I was saying pooter. It made sense to me.
Okay.
But
the pooter is related to...
No, it's computer.
Because the computer.
Hicks say pooter.
Oh.
Because they're hicks.
On the pooter.
And they're...
The IQ of this show just dropped 10 points.
Lol.
10 points from Gryffindor.
So,
10,000 points from Gryffindor.
So, like 500x minus 7y equals like 4. I don't know.
Okay.
I was just trying to make it sound smarter. I don't think it worked.
If I tried to sound smart, I'd just sound even more stupid. Like, seriously. I can't even come up with any smart sounding phrases, let alone an actual smart one.
Every now and then I pull one out, and then usually right after I do, I say something even dumber.
Yeah. What's weird about Trey... Sorry, continue.
An electron can be in two places at once.
Yeah. I actually did read about that. That's really cool. Scientists...
That's how electronics work.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum theory.
One thing about Trey, though, is sometimes he'll tell a story, and he'll sound really, really serious, and it's a complete bullcrap story. Like, he's seriously...
Photons have qualities of both waves and particles.
Mm-hmm. My dad could tell you all about this because he's a ham radio operator, like an amateur radio operator. He's got a license for it, and he knows all this stuff. Like, Haley knows a little bit too, but my dad is like an expert on this stuff, and he knows like all the radio wave patterns and all this stuff.
I just spend all my time watching science videos on YouTube.
Yep. Science is really cool.
I've watched a few. Like, there's this one called ASAP Science that I watch a lot. They post like cool little videos. SourceFed. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yes, I know, sir.
Yeah, I like to watch that.
I watch Vsauce.
Oh, Vsauce is the greatest.
And Smarter Every Day and CPG Grey, I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I watched all 3 Vsauces, obviously.
And Thunderfoot. And I also watch a lot of debates between atheists and creationists. Because that's always fun.
It is fun.
Okay, on the subject of smart things. Crazy thing that I was interneting the other day. And I found this really cool, like, picture, and it was showing the galaxy and just had some writing. It was like, if we were on a planet that was like millions of years away, and
the dinosaur thing?
Yeah. And then you took a telescope and looked at Earth from that planet that was a million years away, because of light, the light that's just now hitting their planet from our planet, they would be seeing dinosaurs.
It's pretty cool.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I heard that a while ago. I was like, that's really awesome.
It kind of means that, like, in a way, we can time travel. Not so much like where
We can just see into the past.
Yeah, we can like look into the past if we manage to like travel faster than the speed of light.
I also saw...
Or we could just stand next to a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true
too.
I saw something pretty funny. It said when you wish upon a star, that star is probably burned up thousands of years ago.
You've just wished upon a corpse.
It's funny.
The dream you just wished on is dead.
Your dreams are dead.
Your life is dead.
Lol. You know, Trey, if we ever do... Trey and I were thinking about starting a Tumwa skits section or whatever it was. It's kind of like the O Talent show or the student-directed plays that we did recently.
It's kind of like SNL in a way.
Yeah, only we're actually going to do a bunch of skits and we're going to promote it and stuff, and everyone's going to go see it at the St. John's Auditorium, sorry.
St. John.
Because there was a St. John's Auditorium Johnson Auditorium in Sheraton, so I get those two confused. But we're thinking about like opening up with like a comedy act or something, or it's gonna be awesome.
And speaking of that, I'm thinking about starting to do a few skits for our YouTube channel.
Ooh, if you guys like to see skits, you should subscribe to Strike Paw Studios on the YouTube, on the tubes,
on the tubes,
on the YouTubes,
on the YouTubes.
YouTubes. Oh my god,
my tubes. You want to hear an impersonation of the Lumpy Space Princess? This is not overdubbed. Oh my glob, you guys are seriously... I'm seriously... What did she say? I'm so globbing PO'd right now. Oh my glob. Just like, I feel like Jessica has a right to know. Oh my glob. Freaking love that.
Yelling at me.
Oh yeah, there we go. Quit lumping yelling at me. Freaking love the Lumpy Space Princess.
Adventure Time's so great.
My dad is the coolest guy ever because he was over here one time and we turned on Adventure Time, and he's like, if this is like almost worth getting cable for. I'm like, Dad, you're so cool that you actually really like this show. I grew up watching Ren and Stimpy. We didn't have cable, but my dad would bring over tapes of it, and my mom was all like, I don't really think you guys should watch this show. It's really weird. Like, my mom was kind of skeptical about it and stuff. So she didn't want us to watch it, and my dad would bring it over and be like, okay, guys, here's another tape of Ren and Stimpy. Go ahead and watch it. I was like, yeah, Dad, you're the coolest.
That show corrupted so many youth.
Yeah. That was if you watch it now, it's so, really over the top compared to today's cartoons. It's ridiculous.
Lots of shows back then were like Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Courage the Cowardly Dog gave every kid nightmares.
Yeah,
seriously. It was so scary. You remember that episode with the sea monster that sang, what is it? What is the piece from Carmen? Wine Slender says, I love courage. Yes, we do. We all do. I freaking love that show. Me and my brother used to tape it and bring it home. Booga, booga! Stupid dog! You made me look bad!
Yeah, I used to watch the show all the time, but actually watched it later on, right before it stopped airing, because when I watched it when it was big, I was too little and it scared me, and I couldn't watch it because I'd always get freaked out.
Because I think you're 2 years younger than me, or a year younger than me.
I think a year, something. But I also was super scared until I was 10.
Yeah, I kind of was too.
It was the only show on Cartoon Network that would really give you nightmares.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was freaking scary, man.
Exactly.
I mean, my sister can come in here and tell you the same thing. I think the scariest one was one of the scariest ones. I never actually saw the Return the Slab episode. That one supposedly scared everybody the most. But with the, Mummy's Curse or whatever. But the one that I hated the most was the sea monster one with the one-eyed sea monster that sang Habanera. Mm-hmm. That was scary. That thing, when it was swimming, when Courage was trying to lure it over so he would take a radio underwater and play habanera. And the sea monster, like in the distance, you could just see it going like this, and it would slowly fade into your vision. You're like, holy crap! Like, it was scary.
Don't spill the coffee on the laptop.
Did I?
Almost.
I almost spilled coffee on my laptop.
You know, the episode I like is the one where the computer possesses Mural.
Yeah.
I love the computer.
And I also like, actually, probably the scariest one, I take that back. The scariest one is when the mole...
the mole
bit Muriel, and she was doing the whack-a-mole thing. It was funny but scary at the same time.
And the one where the windmill breaks down.
Yeah.
That was
that one
tense.
That one was tense.
Oh.
Anyways,
5:30.
Nostalgia.
5:30. Do you guys want to talk about news?
We're gonna talk about news.
We're gonna play some news.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
The intro.
Is it going? Tonight on Claus and Convo, scientists might be able to bring back extinct species. With your anchors, Dante Padfoot, Striker Chiguar, and Trey McIntosh, this is Claus and Convo News.
Beautiful.
There we go.
I love hearing that every time.
It's so cool.
Okay.
It's so cool. Okay. We're going to start off with the biggest story of the day, and just a heads up, we don't have any like really nasty stories today.
Good.
It all depends on if I can find one, and this week I couldn't find one, so we're just going to actually do some practical stories this time. So, okay, we got one here. Frog that gives birth through mouth to be brought back from extinction. Yeah, this is a really nice one.
We're getting Jurassic Park up in here.
Yeah. Researchers in Australia have reached a major milestone in resurrecting a unique species of frog that gives birth through its mouth and vanished into extinct 30 years ago. In what became known as the Lazarus Project at the University of Newcastle in Australia, scientists have resurrected the genome of a gastric brooding frog, which became extinct in 1983, also known as the platypus frog.
Well, doesn't Lazarus Project sound like something an evil scientist would come up with?
Yes. Yes, it does. I was just thinking that.
That's funny. Also known as a platypus frogs, the female amphibian, after external fertilization by the male, would swallow its eggs,
zombie
brood its
frog.
young in its stomach, and gave birth through its mouth. That's actually really cool. Quote, "We are watching Lazarus arise from the dead step by exciting step." I think that's why they call it the Lazarus Project. Professor Mark Archer, a Lazarus Project team leader, said in a statement, "We've reactivated dead cells into the living ones and revived the extinct frog's genome in the process. Now we have fresh cryopreserved cells of the extinct frog to use in future cloning experiments." Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. Okay. The team recovered cell nuclei from tissues collected in 1,970 that were kept in a freezer, according to the university. Researchers took donor eggs from the distantly related great barred frog and replaced their nuclei with dead nuclei from the gastric brooding frog. The embryos only lived for a few days, but researchers were able to confirm that the cells contained the gastric brooding frog's genetic material. Archer said that he is confident that the hurdles in Lazarus in the Lazarus Project team faces are technological and not biological. Importantly, we've demonstrated already the great promise this technology has as a conservation tool when hundreds of the world's amphibian species are in catastrophic decline, he said. The gastric brooding frog was native to Australia, though it isn't clear why they became extinct. Loss of habit, pollution, and parasites have been suggested as causes. Well, what do you think of this?
I love the idea of being able to resurrect extinct animals and such. It worries me a little bit, but like for the most part, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it sounds really awesome. I'm hoping they could like this. This goes along with I think a species we were talking about last time. A species of tiger. What was it? A species something went extinct a couple of years ago.
Maltese. No, it wasn't. It was
some species of cat. It was like a special species of brown cougar or something like that.
The Florida panther. Was it?
Might have been. It was something like that. Some kind of cat went extinct, and I didn't hear a word about it. But then right after that happened, the Twinkies were threatened with extinction, and America lost its shit. Like, seriously. Oh, my word.
Oh, hey, guys.
Just so this shows you how much this society values life.
Oh, hey,
Yep.
guys, an animal's going extinct. Oh, that's cool. Twinkies are going extinct. Oh, my
Twinkies!
God, Twinkies!
How am I going to feed my children?
Yeah, but, like, my whole thing is, it's just, like, with bringing back extinct creatures and stuff, you know, there's some, you know, that their predators and, like, their feeding sources, they're extinct too, so they'd have to adapt.
There's a bug on the wall.
There's always a bug on the wall.
Kill the bug.
No, I'm not going to kill it. I don't really care.
Oh,
Anyways, continue.
I'm gonna kill later. But, like, there's this whole thing about how, like, if it becomes like an invasive species and, like, we would have
off the set.
go.
This is only
We would
for
have
furries
no real
and closet
way
combo people.
of, you know, being able to get it back into, like, a non-invasive state when
That's true.
every way that it has to be non-invasive is kind of
And this goes along with
Extinct.
people controlling the wolf population a little bit. Did I ever tell you about how they control it in Minnesota? Basically, they have I think it's the DNR that controls this. They usually do anyway. The DNR, they put a severe limit on how many wolves you can hunt, especially in Minnesota, because if you hunt too many, they will go extinct. And what happens is every time the population goes really high up, they let people do it until the population goes back down, because obviously if we had a bunch of wolves, then who knows what could happen. You know, our livestock could start dying out a lot more often.
And here's the thing: if you kill off all the wolves, then the rodent population will skyrocket and will ruin the
Yup.
crops, and
Exactly.
you know, it has to be have to maintain a balance.
Yep, and like the DNR severely keeps track of like how many wolves there are and stuff like that. And yeah, they that goes along with this, where if it's invasive, they have to control it. You know, they can't just let it be free.
mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it'll take over.
Yeah, it'll take
Like,
over, because wolves will.
unstoppable.
If there's enough wolves, they will start like taking down more serious things. Like if there's a big enough pack, they could take down pretty much anything.
Yeah, they
So-
could just storm towns. Whole
Yeah.
towns obliterated by wolves. This giant wolf pack comes in, you know, snapping his fingers like, "Hey, town, how's it going?" Town's like, "Oh no!" And town's like, "We're gonna eat all your people."
This is our town now.
Go and do a dance number while they eat all our heads off. It'd be fantastic. It'd be wonderful. No,
Trey,
it'd
this
be
is why we
sick.
want you to stay on the show.
There's a. So it'll be West Side Story, only
Yeah.
like Wolf Side Story.
Wolf Side Story. That's what we're gonna call this episode. Wolf Side Story. I just decided that. Oh, Trey, I love you. Snapping the fangas.
Snapping, because wolves can snap. Everyone knows wolves can snap, of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be able to? It's not like they don't have opposable thumbs or anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Oh boy. Yeah. I also while I'm thinking about it, this is kind of random, but while I'm thinking about it, did you know that Jay Husky, who is one of the most active Iowa furries, was friends with Lemonade Coyote, who recently passed away? That's really sad. I saw a thing on Facebook of him.
The roots run deep.
They do. I saw a picture of him on Facebook with someone that looked like Lemonade Coyote, and I was like, that looks a lot like him. I wonder if that's like an older picture. So I opened it up, and it was, and he basically said on the picture, he's like, great tribute to a friend I lost recently, and I was like, oh, that's sad. It just made me all depressed again. Did you hear about this whole thing that went on? A guy named Lemonade Coyote passed away. He was an EMT, I think. He was like something like that, and he got killed by a drunk driver.
Ooh.
He was sitting,
yeah.
he was
That's
sitting in
the
the back
worst.
of an
While on
ambulance.
duty.
And ambulance stops, stop sign. So the car comes screaming in.
Mm-hmm.
T-bones the ambulance.
Yep. and we had like a whole episode that was like really, really sad toward this. Like we mentioned it, and we were like depressed during the entire episode because we couldn't start having fun again without thinking about it. It was really sad because whenever something like that happens in the furry fandom, since we're such a close family, like whenever it's like it's like if somebody from Atumwa that you knew died, you know.
And I actually wrote kind of a little story relating to this that I'll read later.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
Sweet.
So, do we want to move on to the next story?
Yes, we do have an article sent in that was Mr. Hematite Bear sent in.
Go ahead and read that one.
Okay, so here we have an article on Kitsune Universe. It's posted by Kitsune Hazard. It's a blog post, I guess. And it says, Anthrocon snags Mercedes Lackey and Larry Dixon. Well, last night I noticed a post on Google Plus by Anthrocon that was announcing their guests of honor for this year. It seems as if they've pulled off a major coup with this one. They have managed to get Mercedes Lackey and her husband Larry Dixon as two of their guests. Normally, this wouldn't seem like a big deal, but Lackey and Dixon aren't exactly big on convention attendance, especially over the past 10 years or so. The last convention that I remember Lackey attending, DragonCon 1998.
Wow.
While they recently made statements that they are going to start doing more, they're limiting themselves to one or two at the most per year, if that. So, as far as the convention circuit goes, these two are extremely rare to see out and about.
That's really cool.
The last time Larry Dixon was at a furry convention was nearly 20 years ago, just for some perspective. So, as you can see, the addition of them to Anthrocon was shocking, and squee-inducing moment by Curious Kitty last night. Still, as many people may be wondering, what does fantasy science fiction writer and illustrator have to do with Anthrocon? Well, it's true. Our friends went, "What's a lackery?" For shame. Well, many of Lackey's works include shape-shifting, anthropomorphic characters, dragons, and mythical beings, as well as several other themes that fall into the furry fandom as a whole.
Ooh, that's nice artwork.
She's easily one of the most prolific. My brain's not working. Prolific and well-loved authors of our time, and having written over 2,000 books and shows no signs of stopping.
Ooh.
She is also had very active whole involvement with the folk music scene, winning 5 Pegasus Awards for songwriting over the years, and many Ronnies hold her songs close to hearts.
Nice.
The bolstered even more due to her past involvement with the SCA, Great Dark Horde for those wondering. Of her work, she writes, I try to keep my world as solid and as real as possible. People deal with stubborn pumps, bugs in the porridge, and love lives that refuse to become untangled, right along with invading armies and evil magicians. And as I try to make sense, as I try to make all my characters, even the evil magicians, sometimes more than flat stereotypes, even evil magicians get up in the night and look for cookies sometimes. End quote.
Everyone needs some good cookies every now and
On
then.
the flip side, Larry Dixon is extremely accomplished illustrator of his own right. Dubbed the Griffin King, his artwork spans everything from fantastical world of dragons and other mythical creatures to his amazing skill depicting birds of prey, which has led to a lot of collaborations with the U.S. military.
Ooh.
Some of his most notable works include illustrations for Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons, and his work with depiction of birds of prey eventually led him to helping out Weta Digital on Lord of the Rings for the giant eagles.
Cool.
Lackey and Dixon are also extremely active with bird of prey rehabilitation and have released over 400 back into the wild together and have a love for falconry and other such activities. Lackey even refers to her parrots as her feathered children. And as if that wasn't enough, in addition to this, they are both avid gamers, being major players in the attempt to keep the game city of heroes alive and well.
They immediately have my respect, because they're gamers.
From being shut down. From what I can gather, Lackey, if not Dixon as well, is a full-fledged brown coat as well.
Ooh. I like brown coats. Is he a Whovian? I don't know if it says that, does it?
I don't know.
Well, if you're a brown coat, you got to be a Whovian. I mean, come on.
Maybe it kind of goes hand in hand.
So that's pretty cool. These are the guests for this year, right?
Yep.
So
all of this combined makes them ideal for Anthrocon in my mind, and as not only have they contributed much to the fandom as a whole in various forms, even sometimes without even knowing it, but they are also very active, at least fans of, in a great many fandoms. Both of these are things that the furry community adores and admires in everyone, not just celebrities, but it makes them makes for a perfect storm when they are. Toss in the fact that they have had an impact on so many different genres and groups of people, and you've got a winning combo in my eyes.
Nice.
And that's an article by Kitsune Hazard.
Alrighty. That's awesome. They sound really cool, but then again,
Yeah.
I pretty much like any guest of honor that they always bring to conventions. And it's like, oh, cool, I'll meet him. I'll meet anybody, because everyone is cool in the fandom. Everyone that I've met, anyway. So, yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. We're going to Anthrocon. I've basically decided that I'm going. I may end up taking my motorcycle, and you can just like bring somebody in the truck or something, because I don't know if I'll actually have a car by then. And
I'll have to see. 18 miles per gallon. That is
a
I got to
bit.
look into a little bit of preventative maintenance beforehand and before I take on a trip like that. So
I always take
yeah.
buses.
We could.
Greyhounds.
Yeah.
Could.
Stuff like that.
That's a good idea, actually. But I don't know. I just want to ride my motorcycle. That's all I want to do. Like, I will ride it pretty... Oh, yeah, I'm going on a motorcycle trip with my dad to northern Minnesota on May, like I did September 2011. And it's going to be amazing! I can't wait! Awesome. Motorcycle trips are pretty much the best thing in the universe, and I can't really think of anything that's as good as them.
But,
so, thank you.
The plan is pretty much to head from here, head on to Hematite's house over in that one, Terra something. What's the name of that place? That city?
Doesn't he live in Indiana, though?
It's Indiana.
Yeah.
It's west of Indianapolis.
Okay.
Terra Hoke or Terra something. Terra
something. Terra is the Latin word for earth. So, anyways,
it is terrestrial. I can tell. Terra Haut.
Terra Latut. Terre Haute.
Terre Haute. Terre Haute.
Terre Haute? I don't know. Is it like a
Terre
German?
Haute.
It's a German thing. Or is it a German thing? I don't even know. I'm bad with... Well, I guess I'm not bad at pronouncing things, but I'm bad at realizing...
Close enough.
I'm bad at realizing what country it is or what language it's supposed to be pronounced in. I don't know.
Just so you know, Austin,
But
I've been sneaking your hot Cheetos.
I know.
This
I
entire
saw you eat them.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a moron. I saw you grab them over there.
That was kind of obvious, I guess. Yeah, I just want.
I saw you chewing, and I was like, "He's eating my hot Cheetos. I don't care." I mean, you eat a lot of my stuff, and I get it.
You did not gain any sneak skill.
Dang it! You guys detected me right away. What's the bounty? 110. Oh,
No
geez.
lollygagging.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
I'd rather die. That's why I was a duel, and I.
Do you remember what they used to say for Oblivion? It was really, really annoying. They would run up to you and your screen would like immediately go like zoom in on their face and they'd be like, "Stop, criminal scum!" Like, sorry about the spitting, but they would yell really loud. They're like, "Stop, criminal scum!" Sorry about that. And it was really annoying.
That would be.
But anyway, we're going to leave a couple days early and stop overnight in his house in Terre Haute. And in tow, well, following close behind us will be Chirka and Fox Out.
Fox Out, yes, indeed. They're from Sheraton.
Yes.
I haven't met them in person, but Tirka has some of the best artwork I've ever seen.
Indeed.
I don't know. Have you seen my stick figures?
Oh, I don't know. I guess that's a good point. Your stick figures are pretty amazing.
My stick figures are quite the fantastic stick figures.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Watch out, ladies.
We're not kid friendly anymore.
It's
When
not-
were we
it's-
ever kid friendly?
It's not a show without at least one
Dirty
one
joke.
sex pun
I
coming
mean,
up.
even
Yeah.
cartoons do that, and they're
Yeah.
supposed to be for kids.
Yeah.
and they do it all the time.
Yeah, did you know that there was... Okay, I gotta tell you about a prison rape joke that was in Powerpuff Girls. I'm not joking you, okay?
Serious?
Yes. Okay, here's the deal. Mojo Jojo, it was like a Valentine's Day episode.
Did Mojo Jojo drop the soap?
There was also one of those jokes in SpongeBob, and don't drop the soap joke. I'll tell you about that afterwards. But this one, okay. Basically, Mojo Jojo was in prison. Or he got thrown in prison at the very end of the episode, and it was a Valentine's Day episode. So he's right next to this big, huge guy that's like has a seductive look, and he's looking at Mojo Jojo, and he's got hearts around him. And the announcer's like, "Love is in the air," and Mojo Jojo just looks at the camera like freaked out. I'm like, what? Did they seriously just make that joke? You have got to be joking me.
Have you seen How to Train Your Dragon?
Oh yeah,
There's one that was just so blatantly obvious.
I actually don't
That
remember
love on your button, love on the battlefield,
that.
and he starts humping.
I don't remember that.
It's like, ooh, love on the battlefield. He lands
No.
on he lands on top of her, and
Ah, I think I do remember that one.
yeah, well, yeah, and then there's a few other jokes that only adults would get, but
so
yeah,
How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know why I wanted to talk about this, but there's a moment.
it's a good show.
It's an amazing movie. I love the movie. There's a
I
moment.
hated it.
Ooh, we're gonna have a beat down after this is over. But
yeah,
when
we're not technical difficulties.
Uh-oh.
oh
What's
no.
going on?
Oh no.
Okay. I will tell you guys the reason why I hate it.
We'll need to hear that later.
Because this is when Josh and Haley asked me the same question, and I gave them a legitimate reason. They're like, "Oh, okay."
But there's a moment where
my coffee.
he's about to go into
Good.
the battle, you know, with the dragon to prove to his father, and like he has to kill the dragon, and he's talking to what's her face, the chick, and he's all like, he's like, "Promise me nothing will happen to Toothless," you know, and then she's like, "I promise you, but only if you come out of this okay." And I thought it was. I went crazy over it only because he says, in case something happens, promise they don't hurt Toothless. Then she says, I'll promise you that only if you promise nothing goes wrong. Basically what she said was, I hear what you're saying,
but fuck you.
but no. Yeah, she was like, no, get out fine or I won't care what happens to Toothless. And I was like, ooh, girl, I'm gonna kick your ass. That's my first thought. I was just like, no. I literally just sat there and I yelled at the TV screen for like 5 minutes because I have no life. But it was back in my high school days when I didn't do anything. But yeah, I was just like,
but yeah, in SpongeBob they had another prison rape joke. In SpongeBob, it was fairly recent. It was the episode where SpongeBob tries to give Gary a bath, and he has the bathtub that he's pretending is a treasure chest to lure him in there. He's like, he pulls out 2 bars of soap, and he's like, "Ooh, look, doubloons!" And he winks at Gary and says, "Don't drop them." I'm not kidding you. It actually happened. It was a prison rape joke.
I don't know. Maybe it was like, don't drop the soap, or else when you try to pick it up, you're gonna slip, fall, and break your neck. I don't know. Maybe it was one of those jokes.
I don't know.
Because everyone knows those jokes exist.
Yeah, they do. And they're not just trying to cover up that it's a prison rape joke.
Maybe I'm trying to cover it up. Maybe I might be.
Since we're still in the news section, you want to read another story?
Let's read another story.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a choice between half of Africa's lions may go extinct in 40 years, or Pope Francis breaks the rules and blesses a dog.
Pope Francis.
Okay, here we go. Pope Francis, or guide dog, among the first blessed by the Pope Francis in 2013. A yellow Labrador Retriever was among the first privileged to receive a physical blessing from the Pope Francis's hands this week. So basically, he was one of the first things to get a blessing from the Pope, and it's a guide dog.
That's adorable.
Belonging to a visually impaired radio journalist, Asia, entered the Vatican's vast Paul VI audience hall on Saturday and quietly sat down close to his owner as the pontiff. I cannot read. It says pontiff. Thanked thousands of journalists from all over the world. They all came to Rome to cover the conclave that led to his election as the first Jesuit. Okay, I don't know what that means. First non-European, first Latin American pontiff.
Apparently, they're doing this at a very high speed and turning very sharply.
Jesuit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get it. As I waited in line to enter the hall, the security guards told me that most likely I wouldn't be allowed to get in with the dog. Alessandro Forlani, who works for the Italian RAI radio, wrote on his Facebook page. But after a few minutes, Vatican officials gave me the green light, and I was accompanied by a Swiss guard to the audience hall. They let me sat near the first row of seats. Somebody is having a lot of typos here.
That might be like the whole.
That's where the G suit comes in.
Okay. They let me sit near the front row of seats, Forlani said. At the end of the Pope's magnetic speech, the selected group of media notables and Vatican-linked communicators was presented to the pontiff. It still says pontiff, so I guess they didn't. I don't know. While the journalists lined up to be greeted by Pope Francis, some performing the baciamano, the traditional kissing, the Pope's ring, others embraced him in bear hugs. Vatican officials approached Forlani. They said that Pope Francis had asked me to meet him, to meet me. He had seen Asia and wanted to see both of us, Forlani said. Asia walked on stage, briefly sniffed the Pope's white dress and black shoes, and then waited patiently as Forlani talked to the pontiff. I asked for the blessing for my wife's daughter at home, Forlani told Discovery News. In a fitting image for Pope inspired by the patron saint of animals, Francis bent down to caress the dog. He said, and a special blessing for your dog, too. He broke the ceremonial rules as my presence on stage with Asia wasn't previously arranged. It wasn't the only exception during the audience. Pope Francis departed from the prepared speech and offered insights on the conclave, revealing that Cardinal suggested for him that papal name Handarian. There's so many names I can't pronounce. After Pope Handarian, the Pope Handarian VI, who introduced
Just say some Italian guy.
Some Italian guy who introduced reforms at the Vatican. That's pretty much all. That's pretty cool that he blessed a dog. And the dog, he kind of broke the rules, but whatever.
Dog's going to heaven.
Doggy
heaven. Bacon everywhere.
Bacon everywhere.
Pure bacon.
Could I have some of those chips?
Yes.
I'm really jealous right now.
Let's just show what we've been hiding.
Do you want some? They're flaming hot. Mmm.
Excuse us while we take a snack break.
Nom nom nom.
Hold on. My headphones fell. I'm just gonna leave them on like this.
Recently, I saw an actual news article from like a national news where someone pulled out a Cheeto that was shaped like a cross,
Well then.
like a crucifix.
Lord Jesus is a fire.
They kept it. They kept it in a velvet box.
Really?
A velvet box.
A Cheeto,
A Cheeto.
and it was on the news. I kid you not.
That's funny.
So in other words, like
If I ever ran
it's Jesus in a tree stump.
If I ever ran into what I thought was the Jesus Cheeto, I'd look at it
And eat it.
I go, huh.
I saw one time I saw a picture of somebody that saved a chip because it had a picture of Jesus' face on it. It was so funny. I was like, what? Come on. My word.
Yes, the human mind works in mysterious ways.
The that image of Jesus with the long hair is from just basically what am I looking for?
Speak!
Before the Renaissance, Dark Ages. Basically, in the Dark Ages, they would paint pictures of Jesus, and they haven't seen him for like, what was it, several hundred years. So it's not like they remember exactly what he looked like. So I don't think that he actually looked like that.
He actually looked like your typical Arab.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
That's what Wineslender said.
Ain't nobody got time for Jesus on their Cheeto.
Well, I was getting up to get me a cold pop, and it smelled like somebody was barbecuing. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
It's funny.
I didn't grab shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran.
Because they thought Jesus was on a flaming hot Cheeto. Lord Jesus is on fire.
I get it.
I'm funny.
You are funny. We'll keep you around.
I get to live.
You get to live. We'll keep you around as our pet.
We'll keep you in a cage, just a little with a little water bottle hanging off
with
the
a little,
side.
little hamster thing.
As long as you guys give
We'll
me
give
a
you an
scratch every
exercise
now and
wheel.
then.
Oh, before I forget, the voting for the we'll give him treats. Before I forget, the nominations for the Ursa Major Awards are open for voting on right now. So if anyone wants to go over there and vote, let me see if I can find the site, because if anyone wants to actually vote on there. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, all the way down here.
Right there.
Okay, what is the website? Oh, okay, well, wait. I know the winners are going to be announced at freaking, what's it called? Anthrocon. But I don't know where the website is where you can vote.
It's
Let me see.
probably the Ursa Major Award website.
That
Google it.
would make so
A lot
much
of sense.
Google it.
Yeah, just look up the Ursa Major Awards. So, I don't know. You just do what you want. Try and find it. That's the best I can do for you. That's the
all
best. Just because I felt like it.
It's always needed.
You know, I really need to blow my nose. Trey, would you be a dear and get me a Kleenex? Or the box of Kleenexes? You're living in my house. Might I remind you that you are living in my house?
I am in your house. I do not live here. Let's be honest here.
Okay, Wineslender just posted the link in the chat room if you guys want to go to the UrsaMajorAwards.org voting. So, Yeah. I'm sorry. My nose is really stuffed. There's a bug going around.
And I'll copy this into the IRC.
Okay. We have an IRC on that thing. Is that what it is over there?
Yes, that's the IRC. So if you have an IRC client like
Thank you, Trey.
Chatzilla on Firefox or whatever, or MIRC or something like that, you can join our IRC channel, which is linked pretty much everywhere.
I turned off my mic. Okay, that's way better. Thank you so much, Trey. You're a doll. You're a doll. You're a doll. You know, if we do a comedy act at the freaking comedy skit thing that we want to do, we should actually invent an entire act between two smoker ladies. Like, remember the act we were doing? Patrice and Marge, I think their names
Patrice
were.
And Marge.
And we were like, well, how are you doing, Patrice? Like, you did Patrice.
I'm doing fine, Beatrice. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm Beatrice.
I'm Patrice.
You're Patrice. I'm Beatrice.
Yeah.
Patrice and Beatrice.
Patrice and Beatrice. Coming soon to theaters. JK, we do not have that kind of money.
No, it costs several $1 million.
Millions.
Millions and millions and millions. We had to do a Trey McIntosh arm flail before the night was over.
It was required.
So I think our discussion topic for later in the show should be I had something. I always have an idea for a discussion topic, something that we can go into depth about, but I forgot what it is. I will, as soon as I think about it, I will do it. I will
Let us
talk
know.
about it. If you guys want anything, we're going to be into a discussion section of the show later, so if there's anything you want to talk about, like regarding the furry fandom, like if you want to talk about it going mainstream,
just like and favorite this video and post a comment.
Yeah, basically anything you want.
That's YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Comment below. Let me know.
Comment below and let me know.
Just
talk in the chat room.
Yep.
And say
Yeah,
about
chat.
something you want us to talk about. We'll talk about it later in the show.
Or send an email.
Send it. Oh yeah, you could do that.
Yes,
Strike
we'll be opening up the Skype line.
Yes, later we will.
Later on.
Yes, later we'll be opening up the Skype channel, and before we do, right before we open up the Skype channel, we will flash the information on the screen, and we'll have the email address and the Skype name, so you guys can add us. And if you want to get some insight on the conversation, you are totally welcome to do it. There it is right now, but we will all flash it again before we open up the Skype channel, so be ready. And like I said, anything you want us to talk about, and if you want us to talk about how the furry fandom as a family feels to us, we could talk about that. We could just say how, like, half the reason the furry fandom is so awesome is because it's such a close family. We could talk about that, So I'm pretty sure that our friend Thane will be a furry. He's going to be like a full-on furry.
He's a furry. He's already a furry. He just doesn't like.
He doesn't know how.
Yeah, because he's so busy being a brony.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. If you're a brony, you're kind of open to the fact of furry stuff anyway, because you have to lose a lot of self-respect to be a brony. Same thing with a furry. Like, if you...
The transition is quite simple. You just have to have... You just get more... You just add more originality.
Yeah, exactly. Because, being a brony is basically following a show.
Yeah, bronies are fans of a Hasbro product.
My Little Pony Friendship is magic.
And furries are
fans of furries.
Fans of animals.
People that take the idea of furry and put it into their psychological being.
Furries are fans of furries.
Kind of. I mean, that's the very basics
literal.
of it. That's the very basics of it. Is if you're a fan of anthropomorphic animals,
and that's what sets us apart from everything else.
We could talk about that, like how we could just talk about a couple different things. It does go way deeper than that.
We'll get into that.
we could get into that. We could go into what makes somebody furry really, like what really, how does it impact your life, and how are you really supposed to act as a furry? I mean, there's no, guidelines or anything, but if you want it to benefit you as much as it can,
You can do what you
you
want.
can do it. And we'll show you how. Just buy these DVDs for $9.99.
$9.99
Plus $5 shipping and handling.
And if you call now, we'll include a DVD cleaner because you totally need one of those, and they totally work too.
And if you call now, we'll include a DVD of Trey doing naughty things.
With the slap chop.
Yeah, now you want to see that.
So Trey, would you do me a favor and record something for me?
Oh God, I think I'm busy for the rest of my life.
Oh boy, Trey, we really need to have you as a regular host on here, because when you're gone, it's like there's a big piece of everything missing. Like seriously, because me and Stryker, we don't have as good chemistry as me and Trey do because Trey and I, we just do we're good at getting along, like in chemistry wise and stuff. So
I never took chemistry.
The only thing I'm good at is doing the things that the guy behind the camera usually does.
yeah, and I love the stuff you add every once in a while. Like
Yeah.
if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be the same either. So
The show couldn't survive without any of us.
exactly, if any of us were gone, it would
Maybe
be different.
Austin could not be in it.
Even though I do like 90% of the talking.
Point being, we could probably do it. We
You and Stryker could pull it off.
What'd you
Did you know that Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, coined the phrase "derp"? They did.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
They coined it. There was an episode that was making fun of Rob Schneider, and it was like, Rob Schneider did derp, did derp, did teedly derpy dum. Like it was making fun of a commercial, Rob Schneider is did derp, did derp, did teedly derpy dum. Rated PG-13. Freaking love that.
That's great.
Rob Snyder is a carrot.
Rob Schneider is a carrot. He's about to find out just how hard it is when you're being somebody you're not.
So
From the creators of Durr and Derp to Derp to Derp.
okay, so right now, I'm gonna play something from Fox. Got some video queued up on YouTube
cool.
from Fox. Some of Fox and Moore's music. Here, we're gonna take a quick break.
Oh, okay.
Quick pauser.
With bow. What did you say?
A quick pauser. But I guess you
Oh,
can
okay.
say pauser.
So
like
I guess we're gonna take a 10-minute break then.
Yep.
We will be back in 10 minutes. Thank you for watching Claus and Convo. Tune back in 10 minutes, and we'll see you again. We love to see you pretty faces out there, even though we can't really see you, but we're just imagining it. So we'll see you again in 10 minutes. Oof. I need a stretch. Oof.
Where's my limo?
Where's my limo?
Okay, I need to go to my trailer.
Oof. 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 Oof.
FYI, I got ready for your Minecraft server. I closed your Minecraft server.
Minecraft server? What?
The only thing that would be a problem is if somebody was on it, and people aren't really on it that often. So
I'm starting on. I don't know if you saw what I did on there.
well, you started making some. Yeah,
Cool.
Good stuff.
Well, island art.
Nice.
It's like just across the water a little bit.
I didn't repeat.
Interesting little FYI, a little trick. If YouTube is buffering and you hit up and down on your arrow keys, then you can play Snake. But anyway, let's get back to the show.
Is my mic on? Yes, it is.
Freaking camera shot disappeared again.
Uh-oh.
Why does that happen?
Can you hear? Okay, you guys can hear me now. But right now we're working on trying to get the camera shot back in there. I don't know why that happens. We need the camera so people can see us.
Oh, God.
I think I see it. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fabulous one and only Claus and Convo, back from a 10-minute break.
And that was a couple of videos from off of Fox and Mars YouTube.
So for that person, Mrs. Wineslender, yes, we did talk about Minecraft because Minecraft is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm building a cool little harbor little place. You got the building, and then you got where people can park their boats and then come in.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna look real neat when it's done. Hopefully,
Is this all on my server?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's on the big old server.
Of course, I'm poor, and so I don't ever buy games.
Yeah. You just play free games like PlanetSide 2, and
Yeah.
I guess you need to start playing Team Fortress 2. It's probably the best free game I've ever played.
I need to get a gaming computer.
Mm-hmm. Well,
This laptop doesn't really have much graphics capability.
and
So-
mine doesn't really either.
And it gets warm.
Mine's does.
Yours has a lot because it's a Mac.
It's a Mac.
Oh ho!
No big deal or anything.
Whatever, Trey.
Not to toot my own horn.
Not to toot your own penis.
Oh.
Oh boy. So let's see. When do you think we should go into the discussion topics? In about 3 minutes? Because I think we're done with news anyway. So
Yep.
if we want, we can do another 3 minutes of banter, and then we can go into.
This is the part where we turn the Skype line on.
Yep. Me right now. Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have suggestions for topics and stuff, you could either email us, post it in the chat right now, or we're going to be opening our Skype line pretty soon. So
Skype line.
there's the information right there if you want to add us on Skype, and hopefully later in the show you'll call us and give us a shout out just really quick. Or if you want to have some insight on the conversation, you're totally welcome to do that. That's why we had it open.
We can give you the inside dirt on what goes on backstage.
But it'll cost you.
It'll cost you an arm and a leg.
It'll cost you IQ points.
Lots of
Lol.
all of the IQ points.
Ha 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 ha.
You may break your brain.
We need email.
Maybe.
We need more emails from our viewers, though. That's the
Yeah.
problem. So we don't we started out with an email segment because we actually got a couple at one point, but that's the best we ever got. We had 3 emails in one day, and that was our high point.
Hematite got a very nice screen capture of you.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. That's
That-
awesome. I like that picture. That is cool. I actually really like that. I might put that as my Facebook profile picture or something, because I've had my Persona headshot for how many years?
Ever
Long damn
since
time.
I've been here.
Yeah,
I know you've had
long time.
Wow.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's still the 10th episode spectacular. It's nothing special. It's just 10 episodes.
I mean, a fudge bar.
Yeah, that's what we were eating. But when we got in here, because we ate fudge bars, and well, yeah. So, anyways, So our discussion topics for today, we are now entering our discussion topic area of the show. And we would kind of like to discuss, what would we like to discuss? I had an idea just a little while ago. We could start off by talking about the differences between furries and bronies, and then we could like branch it off into other subjects if we want to.
No, wait, since this is sort of a special like review of the past 10 episodes, we could just review some of the stuff that we've talked about in previous shows.
Yeah, like you mean some of the discussion stuff?
Yes.
Okay. How about this? The best discussion topic we ever had was if there was a button that permanently turned you into an anthropomorphic animal, would you press it? And there was a lot of debate over it, and I actually still haven't decided whether I would press it or not.
I
shut the
wouldn't.
door, Trey.
I would not. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not a furry, so he's just a human guest.
I'm just a human guest.
I need to stop playing with this. It looks really weird on the camera. Take it away. Take it away.
Get it out of here. Out of my sight.
But anyways, we went into deep discussion about whether, like, how the public would perceive it. And I guess I would only press it if a lot of other people did, because then I could be with them and I wouldn't have to participate in society, because you can imagine how horrible that would be. If you were an actual anthropomorphic animal and you had to participate.
I wouldn't be the first volunteer.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. I know there'd be a lot of people that would do it, but we're discussing whether or not it would be available on a global scale, or, I think it's not really a button you would press, but it was just kind of a permanent thing you could go through. I don't know. I guess thinking about this, it'd have to be permanent, because that's otherwise, obviously we would do it if it wasn't permanent. But that's the discussion is whether or not you would want to be a anthropomorphic animal instead of a human. So you could never go back on your decision, which, like I said, I guess I would. I would, because then I would be around a bunch of other people who are the same, and it would be amazing.
Be awesome.
It would be the most incredible thing in the world, literally. I need to blow my nose.
A fursuit that you can wear in the pool.
Yeah.
And never take off, because it's you.
And it would be a fursuit that's, like, replaces your skin, basically. What? I'm showing the show as off-air. Okay.
What?
Does that
Well,
mean
we
that show's
try
off air?
just try refreshing. Wait, you probably can't hear me.
Wait, you mean like we're not broadcasting? Is that what you're trying to say?
We're producer shows us that's on air, and it's on. Yeah, we are. We're on air.
Okay, that's good, because I don't want people to miss these discussions. Yeah, everyone, if you're having problems with this, try refreshing the page. Hopefully that'll work. So for some reason, my Mediacom is really, really retarded.
Because I got running over streaming over here.
Yeah, we're streaming it fine.
It's streaming straight from Ustream, so.
Yeah. Wine Slender says I can see you guys, so I guess that must have worked. Anyways, yeah, if you guys want, it would help if you guys would, contribute to the conversation as much as you can. Whoever's in the chat room, you can say anything.
Our viewers are part of the show.
Yep, we need the viewers. It's a vital thing. So if you have any insight, basically we could start off with everyone giving their answer, whether or not you actually would press this button. So, yeah, if basically you can't go back, obviously, and the grounds are there would be a lot of other people doing it. So you wouldn't be the only one, which in that case, I think I would do it. I would do it. Trey would just be sitting there laughing at all of us.
I wouldn't laugh at you guys. I'd just sit back with a hearty chuckle. Maybe.
Hematite Bear's like, I would press everyone's button. Lol.
Just
if you
make
even press
everyone-
Trey's button, he's like,
no.
no.
Dang it.
Okay. Yeah, Wine Slender says she would definitely do it.
Everybody's hitting the button, and I'm sitting here like, no.
Nope. We'd also...
Yes, I would do it. I would.
Yes.
If
And
anything, just to say fuck you.
Yeah. And we could, like...
I do it because fuck you. That's why.
And it would kind of look like a Halloween costume to most people that didn't know about it. So, although, okay, how about this? What if it was a national thing, like it was a famous thing instead of just a, little thing?
If it was a fad.
Yeah,
I mean.
not just a fad, because fads are basically mean they just go away really soon, or they only last for a little while. I think that's the definition of fad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
kind of.
You can have a tattoo fad, but that's never going away.
Yeah, good point.
Well,
But,
but then you can stop liking the fact that you have the tattoos.
Yeah.
And live with regret for the rest of your life.
Yep. That's why I'm never going to get one.
But yeah, I was thinking if this was a national thing, like everyone in the world knew about this, it was a commonly accepted thing, then people wouldn't be freaked out if they saw anthropomorphic animals. I mean, obviously it'd be a new thing to them.
That's actually where that's where you run into problems is, it's basically the acceptance of it.
Yeah, and it would be like we're black people all over again.
Yep, that's why I was
back
thinking.
in the
I was
day.
like,
Yeah.
you guys are reminding me of my heritage.
and if that were to happen, there'd still be these conservative, extremist religious groups or what have you that will basically.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yes, you're all going to hell.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Because a lot of verses in the Bible they take way too literally.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it would have to be an issue with. I mean, obviously, we'd be if the world didn't know about this button, then people would be freaking out. They'd be like, "What?"
I would fight crime.
Yeah, I'm a superhero now.
Yes,
I love what he said about hunting.
Hematite Bear is like hunting season would be interesting.
Yes,
it would,
and extremely scary for you
Yeah.
guys. Oh boy!
And we also discussed what would be defined as an anthropomorphic animal, like whether or not how many human characteristics, like human eyes, we would actually have if we would just be completely like a four-legged animal, or if we would be if we would have the ability to talk.
Yeah,
which
what I expect of the animal you'd have,
Mhm.
because, for example, cats, they can only move their jaws up and down. They can't grind,
yeah,
and
so that's
they
an
can
issue.
only eat meat.
So we probably couldn't talk,
You'd,
pronounce things like
so
normal humans.
obviously, you'd still want to keep some human characteristics there.
Yeah. And I mean, it's discussing whether or not it would actually be realistic if we could design how anthropomorphic it is. Like if it's actually, if that would be the case, or if it's just we don't get to decide how much into the furry thing it is. I don't know.
In maybe in a few hundred years, we'll understand enough about genetics to do such a thing. But
Mhm. Yeah, it's a nice thing to think about. Hematite Bear says also would be realistic. Also would be realistic or toonish. Yeah, that's a good one. I think
toonish would never work.
It wouldn't. I mean, as much as we'd like to think so, it would be really awesome if it was more toonish. Like say Wolfie Nail or something.
I would not want to be toony.
Everyone loves Wolfie Nail, but there's no way we're gonna look anything like his
Yeah.
drawings. So, but yeah, it just have to be okay. I think the closest we could get is Tirka's drawings.
Yeah.
Tirka is about
That'd be
the
it.
closest anyone's ever gotten to what it would actually look like.
Yeah,
that I can
if you look
think
at Tirka or Dark Natasha
Mm-hmm.
or even Heather Burton,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty close to what I would suspect it would look like.
Yeah. Hematite says,
Yeah.
would brownies be allowed?
No, they should. They should be hunted.
Wait, I think you
they
said
were.
bronies.
Yeah.
Oh.
If bronies were allowed, I might hunt them.
Trey is really anti-brony.
I would join you in that hunt.
There we go.
I
Yeah.
don't like bronies themselves, but I don't mind the show. I think it should just be something we all kind of like.
You're like a kind of brony.
Yeah,
You're not like a hardcore brony.
I just like the characters in the show. That's about it.
Yeah.
I think they're well-designed characters.
It's just a well-written show.
Yeah, it is very nice. It's very entertaining, and it's really good, basically. But, it's... I guess, it's not a huge deal to like My Little Pony that much, but when you go around and tell people that, I'm coming out as being a brony, that's when it goes way too far. You're
it's like stepping
being
out of
a brony
the closet.
is not a sexual thing unless you make it a sexual thing.
Let's not go there.
I don't want to even go there. If you go to E621, more than half of the stuff there will be pony stuff, and you'll regret ever going there.
You know what I should do? I should create a picture of myself, of my persona, as a parody of the Grumpy Cat.
Ooh,
Guys,
that would be awesome.
I should do that.
Quick.
So
pause.
every time someone tries to get me to read something that I don't want to read,
Yeah.
no.
Just quick thing.
I say it a lot. Speak.
I just watched myself yawn, and it made me yawn again. I'm so stressed out right now over this. But just continue what you were saying. I'm just gonna sit here and try to understand.
Just
Should embrace the time vortex.
The endless cycling of yawning.
This is a dream.
Anyway,
Yeah, Hematite Bear says would bisexual furry marriage be allowed? I think that's what he meant. Would furry marriage be allowed? You never know. Actually, I think that would be because, we're basically humans.
it would be a huge debate. It would be just like gay marriage.
Gay rights all over again.
I feel like that would happen. Yeah.
It probably, honestly, I think it'd be even a little worse than gay marriage, because with gay marriage, like, there's the whole, there are still people, but with furries, they might think of furries as not like people. They might think of them less than people, and they might go into the whole bestiality thing. And
because
and they'll bring up a Bible verse and
because back when people discriminated against black people, or back when they were slaves, they used the excuse that they're not actually people.
We weren't people.
Seriously, that's the excuse they used. That's really, really horrible. But yeah, Wineslander says, but that could be considered bestiality. That's true. But I think the only thing that makes it bestiality really is that
if
it's a non-sentient being, and like a quote-unquote innocent being.
Yes. So,
but yeah, I mean, I guess some people would, because a lot of people don't think about it. They're just like, oh, it's an animal, bestiality, no question about it, But if a dog actually, this sounds really weird, but what if the dog had human emotions, could talk, and was a sentient being, and loved you back,
and had a human level or higher intelligence?
I think it's not so much about like its personality and like all that, so much as reproduction. Honestly, it would be people like, ew. But so I guess if like
anthropomorphic.
Yeah, can't say the word. And creatures were existent. The only way it'd be more allowed is if they still had like the human.
Mm-hmm.
If they could
situation going on down there,
if they could give consent.
Yeah. But you can just say anthro for short. That's what a lot of us say. The only reason I say the full word is because I'm actually really good at pronouncing it.
Oh, good for you.
Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphy is the.
Shouldn't have saying porn. That's terrible.
Anthropomorphism.
Terrible. Anthropomorphic. I don't. I quit.
Okay, we could also discuss. We can go into a few discussion topics, because we talked about this very subject during like a full hour of like how we would fit into society and stuff. So we could also move on to what was the other one? Okay, we could talk about how much of a religion furry is, and if it is at all. I don't.
It's more of a race. If you ask me, it's more of a race, just because you can have atheist furries. You can have Jewish furries. So if in my opinion, it's more of a race, not so much a religion.
Yeah, there's no real furry dogma. There's no holy
That's
dog.
the thing, yeah.
Furry Jesus.
Furry Jesus.
That's great.
I've actually seen people draw Jesus as a lion, which I don't really like. Actually, I don't like that.
Jesus is the lion.
It's cool, but no.
How about Jesus as a squirrel? There'd be one. There'd be a Jesus for you.
I mean, the Bible, puts God along with the lion as an animal. It's like, I mean, if God was drawn as an animal, it would be a lion. That's the basis of it. But I just don't like the idea of God being anthropomorphic. That's the thing. So, but
although if you think about it, God kind of is an anthropomorphism of the natural mechanics of the natural world.
You could be considered that, yeah. But we could discuss I don't think it's a religion at all, but some people kind of follow it like a religion. So,
well, it with due to the fact that it's not an actual race, there's not
like he said, it doesn't have a doctrine and it doesn't have a person.
Yeah, then it is kind of a religion because it's an idea and people kind of center around this idea. It would be turned into a race if we actually had the ability to be anthropomorphic.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of just plays on the idea of what it is.
Yeah.
And,
but but you can conceive it as an alternative because because one of the main things that church provide is that community togetherness.
Good point. Yeah.
And
because when Baptists aren't being retarded, they're actually a pretty good church family. When they're not being retarded. Seriously.
Someone posted a link. Velociraptor Jesus. That's best. That's best Jesus.
Okay, let's see this.
Jesus. That's best Jesus right there. Nothing beats that.
Basically, a guy in a Velociraptor outfit with a Jesus outfit on the like Jesus robes and a cross over his.
That's
wonderful.
Great.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh boy.
Okay. That just made my night. Thank you for posting that.
Why couldn't that be in Jurassic Park?
Oh, that would have been great.
Everyone, don't move.
It's Velociraptor Jesus.
If we bow down to him, he will be okay.
But yeah, the basically.
Rock me, Jesus.
Okay. Basically, I define the furry thing. The furry thing also goes into. I read a discussion. We also discussed this earlier.
Trey's broken.
It's so funny.
It is funny.
Keep going.
Okay.
Just ignore me.
I read it. I think we talked about this on the show one time, but I found this thread on Fur Affinity forums, and it said that furry basically made the argument that furry is nothing more than a hobby, and that we shouldn't consider it like coming out as a furry. He thinks that that's the most retarded thing ever, which I kind of agree with, but I also disagree with, and here's why. Because when somebody says they're coming out as being furry, the only time that is significant is when it's actually a sexual thing, when it's full on a sexual thing, and most furries are not into that. I mean, they like it a little bit, but it's not actually a full, sexuality. That's not what it is.
The way you see it, it's not worth hiding.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say too. Is where it's not. I definitely think that if you're a furry, even if you're worried about if people what they're gonna say, go out and tell people that you're a furry. And I like to define, instead of coming out, I use the phrase start telling people that I'm a furry, because basically I consider it not a religion, but a huge part of your psychological being that needs to be expressed. Otherwise, you'll bottle it up and it won't be good at all. You don't get to explore it. Hematite Bear says, furries have sex? Wait, is there furry porn too? Yes, I hate to break it to you, but there's a lot of furry porn.
Kind sir, have you ever heard of 4chan? If you
Furry
go there,
Fridays.
if you go there, you can find a lot of it.
Actually, 4chan is not really a big source of it at all.
4chan?
They kind of just drove all the furries out of 4chan, actually.
You can go to F-chan.
Are you sure? Because
You could.
every time I'm on that site doing, 4chan things, because I like to talk to people through it, and there's
I
you
guess I
run
haven't
into
been on it in a long
furries
time.
all the time.
I guess I haven't been on it in a long time.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Of course, F-chan is just purely furry porn.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Of course.
Back
There's
to-
U18chan and there's E621 and there's all the
There
good sites.
are a million different sites.
There's millions of them. Even DeviantArt has its fair share of furry
That's
porn.
not even counting Google.
and that
Yeah.
is censored. They're censored furry porn, just like anime.
For some reason, my he actually did say something, but the chat censored it. So
That's weird.
Rule 34.
Yep.
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 If there's
If it exists, there's
porn of it. No
on the
exceptions.
Yep.
One time I saw a picture of two pieces of toast humping, and one of them said, "I'm gonna crumb," and it said, "Rule 34, no exceptions." Oh man, the internet is a wonderfully horrible place.
You silly humans.
Oh boy, Wine Slender says she saw that too. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was a pretty popular picture for a while.
Yes.
It's funny. Anyways,
So before
So-
we hit furry porn, ew. Anyway,
And it's FYI, if you have not been aware of this yet, we are going to be primarily switching over to an IRC channel. We'll still pop in and
we'll
occasionally look at the Ustream chat just to make sure
there's
no one's
nothing
left
we're
behind.
missing. Yeah.
But we've got our it as is linked pretty much everywhere in the header
So
of
in
the
the
Ustream
top,
chat or in the
join the-
description.
join the IRC channel
Yeah,
right there.
you can
Yeah,
cuss
yes.
there.
Yes, I is it.
Yep, there's a link up there in the top. It says join the
You can
IRC
swear
channel.
there.
Yep. So, pretty cool.
neat.
Just don't abuse it.
Just don't abuse the power. Power. Love that.
Respect my authority.
Respect my authority. All right. So what were we talking about? Let's see.
Furries.
Well, yeah. No, we weren't talking about furries.
What is this furry thing that you were? What is this?
We could talk about how it looks from the point of somebody who's not furry. Trey.
Furries?
Yeah, just I know that you really don't like the whole sexual thing and stuff.
Well, okay, I don't have a problem. You guys can do whatever you want.
I know you don't have a
it's-
real problem with it.
Yeah,
Not like
it's,
bronies anyway.
I do actually have a real problem with bronies, but there's
Everyone has a problem with bronies. Even bronies have problems with bronies.
yeah. Every brony I meet is like, "Oh, I promise, I'm not like most bronies. Most bronies are just
But they
annoying."
are.
And then they're also, and I'm like, "Oh my god." But there's like, I'm huge on the internet. Like I go on the internet all the time. I go to like meme base, 4chan, stuff like that. I do things, and furries have a different name on the internet than like when you meet one, because like when you meet one, you talk to one and you see what they do, it's a lot different. It's like you learn about the community, you learn about how they have conventions and all this cool stuff you guys do, while most if you only hear about it through the internet, honestly all you're gonna get is furry
Is the
porn. It's all you see,
Yeah.
and it's upsetting. Like, it's upsetting when you know furries and you know how they really are. It's more, but like when you don't really know furries that much, it just kind of makes them look gross, and it's a little upsetting.
It's an old stigma that's been overdrawn by the media, and it's just tired.
Which is cool.
We're all very tired of
It's
it.
cool that the media is starting to turn around
That's true.
completely.
Yeah.
Wine Slender keeps telling us to convert Trey. I
Ain't
don't
gonna
think
happen.
that's gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
You don't know Trey like I do. There's no way. He's okay with the idea of it, but he's not gonna convert to a furry. There's no way.
Sorry.
Okay. There's a picture of Trey.
That
We're looking at a picture of an otter.
otter meat. That's great.
It's funny that like he's basically, Wine Slender says I can see him as an otter. It's because Hematite Bear not recently, the first time Trey was on here, he basically decided that Trey is an otter.
It was pretty accurate, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It fit. But
And
I'm not a furry.
basically, the whole point, like one of the biggest things we do is we just express ourselves in every way we can because the community is so open. And then when the outside world gets a little taste of it, they only see a little tiny bit of us expressing ourselves, and they're just like, ugh, you know. Yeah. So they only see a tiny bit of it. They don't get the whole picture. And somebody who watches something like this will know what we actually are like, you know. Mm-hmm. That furry is basically. The point of it for me is to explore the psychological idea of being an anthropomorphic animal,
which is cool.
It is very cool.
It's cool stuff.
And I knew that you would. I knew that you think it's cool. I actually knew basically how you thought about it because you told me several times. So, because I've asked you about it. So, but yeah, I mean, I like that you're cool with it and you understand the idea of it. But I can completely respect that you're not a furry because you're either born with it or you're not. That's kind of how it is.
And my thing is I don't accept most things. I'm just like, that's cool, but I'm not going to join you.
Yeah,
do what you want, but I'm just going to not.
Yeah, it seems like every time I explain it to someone, their reaction is weird but cool.
Yeah, it's a good kind of weird is what the fandom is.
Let's face it, like a lot of people do think about it. Like you look at little kids shows. You know, when you're like 2, there's lots of anthro animals and such and creatures in those shows, and everyone always is like, "Oh my God, the show's on Dora the Explorer
has furries in it."
There's a fox, you know. There's a fox.
Yep.
Swiper, no swiping.
Dante, no swiping.
I never actually thought about that until now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna steal my stuff.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's so, you know, that everyone has a slight interest in it. It's just some people, like, they actually take it to where, you know, oh, I want to get into that kind of stuff. Like, honestly, one of my favorite... Dora
the Explorer, converting children to furries. Actually, I saw a picture of the mouse from Great Mouse Detective that did the stage thing, like the showgirl. And it shows her, like, in the feathers and the sexy outfit and stuff. And it said... Disney turning kids into furries for over 90 years. That's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like one of my favorite movies is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I'm so glad that you love that movie because that's one of my favorites too.
It's such a good movie, and all the characters in that are fantastic. And sometimes, honestly, like when we were talking earlier about like what it would be like if there was anthropomorphic people, you know. That's kind of what I thought of that movie. First thing I was like,
that's actually really, Wine Slender says she loves that movie too.
It's really good.
It's a good movie. I saw that in the theater when it came out, and I was like, this is one of the best Fox movies I've ever seen. Because my favorite Disney movie is obviously Robin Hood because that's actually what got me to jump off the bridge and get into the fandom. So. I saw Disney's Robin Hood. I didn't grow up with that movie. I saw it when I was like 15 for the first time.
Wow.
And I was like, I started looking up artwork of it, you know. And then I stumbled upon a furry site, and that's when I was like, oh my word, there's people like me? And then I just like jumped into it head first without even thinking about it. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I ever did. And so many people talk about me behind my back at how retarded the thing is, but the whole point about being a furry is being around people that actually understand how awesome it is.
And that's a perfect segue into my story.
Okay.
Which I'm saving for anytime I get the opportunity to speak at a closing ceremony.
Oh, cool.
But
is this a story you wrote about?
Yeah.
Yeah. About Lemonade Coyote.
It's not about him, but it's about me.
I love lemonade.
Oh, okay.
But
lemonade.
Up until now, the young man struggled to find himself in a cold chaos we call reality. Unwanted, like no one cared. Moving from one parent to another, back and forth, he never knew the meaning of home. Deep in the woods, along a creek, running through a property which he may never see again. The only solace he's ever known. The quiet dark, amongst the trees, maintain his sanity. The human society around him brought no peace. Condescending mockery and authoritative demands drove him down further into his jaded, medicated state of monotony. With each encounter, he would retreat further into that quiet darkness, his secret place of solace. This wretched world, filled with every breed of chaos, he did not belong here. Not among such a cruel, heartless race. The cheetahs, kind to man, killing only to eat and survive. He could relate to these creatures. Speed aside, they overcame weakness with cleverness. They risked their lives to defend their loved ones, and upon the sickly they would not prey, except in the most dire circumstances. Perhaps... Where am I? I lose my place.
Too far.
You bastard. Perhaps it was among these beautiful cats that he was meant to be. Perhaps some other life in another dimension. Whatever the case, he had a connection with these creatures. If only man could learn from the cheetah. If only man could learn from the world around them. As he grew older, he discovered something. That there were others with the same connection with animals. That they, like him, imagined an anthropomorphic self-identity. They called themselves furries. This new world was fascinating, and he was drawn in. Standing among them, he heard stories of grand acts of kindness. Among the furries existed a quest for greater good, manifested from a common perspective, a grand view of mankind through the looking glass of animal kind. And though the crowd was grand, it was pure serenity. Tears filled his eyes, and for the first time in his life, they were not tears of sorrow, but of joy. Here he was welcome. Here he was family. For a little while, he was home. That young man was me. And here I sit before you, my friends, my family. You've shown me what it means to love one another. Just by being you. Just by being furries, you've given me, if just for a little while, a place to call home. And though our stay here is short, and once the banners come down, we must return to that place we reside. That magic will forever be with us. Eagerly I await the day when, just like the Isle of Brigadoon rises from the mist, the furries gather once more. And then, at long last, I will be home again, if just for a little while.
Wow. You
That's
wrote that?
good.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's talent. Wow. Bravo, man.
Yeah. That was great. I would love to hear you say that at a convention.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect for like a closing ceremony of a convention. Like seriously.
That's smart. Oh.
It's incredible.
Making me jealous, and I'm a writer.
Trey writes incredible plays, by the way.
Plays, films, you know.
You write incredible plays. Like seriously. One of his plays was about a couple dealing with the loss of a child. It was dark, but it was also really character driven at the same time. It was so good, and we watched this play in production recently at the student directed plays, and oh my word, it was so good. I love the plays that Trey writes. He's such a talented writer, just like Stryker is here. I'm sure you should like post that somewhere and give people links to it so they can read it. That's really awesome.
That's some good.
Because that's about how 90% of furries feel about the fandom.
It almost reminded me of back when my great grandpa couldn't find a living because he was black. It reminds me of other people, you know, like it's you tell that story in a way where like other people can relate to it, not just furries. They can relate into the ways of like how the whole idea of when you're not accepted and finding places that are home, you know. It's like it's good. I don't think anyone heard that.
I really love that.
That's
where
empty.
Did your cup go?
I'm gonna go get it 'cause I lost it.
You could just have mine. I'm not gonna drink any more coffee. I already had some today.
There's none left.
Oh crap! Really? Oh.
This is the last of it.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna finish yours.
You drink that last of the coffee and you
Loser.
enjoy it.
Cheers.
I'm going to drink this slowly in front of you just to be spiteful.
All right. Well, we could also talk, since we started this, we could also talk about how the fandom changed our lives. Basically, the fandom kind of it didn't really change my life as much as most other furries, because I was already like this. I was already like an insane weirdo all my life. If you watch videos like Christmas videos of me when I was 5 years old, I was just a wacky little kid. Like seriously, I was always like this. But joining the furry fandom was basically full of people that thought that was the coolest thing ever. And you know, it's like, it does really feel like home when you're in the furry fandom to certain people, especially me and Stryker, you know, for different reasons. But mine is basically that I found people just like me, and I've been you know, because my friends have always thought that it was the dumbest thing ever, you know, the whole furry thing. But then I go to a convention, and everyone thinks of it as a normal thing, which is so psychologically healing. Like seriously, it really is. It's incredible. What just happened?
It might be your computer.
Your computer's doing stuff.
Well, the broadcasting.
Your laptop is doing.
So are we still
that laptop is
broadcasting then?
What the?
Are we not broadcasting?
We.
Wait, let's
hang on.
double check.
Let me refresh.
It's still live on ours. Or I guess I just had to.
I gotta refresh.
Okay. Ad. There's an. We have to watch an ad.
I don't have to watch an ad.
Wow, you're a jerk.
I have something called ad blocker.
Oh, look at you with your ad block. Aren't you cool? No,
I have it on my computer over there, but in this laptop I do not. So.
I have it on my Mac. Oh wait, I don't need it because Safari doesn't have advertisements.
Oh really? Even on YouTube?
Yep.
Really?
Body yo. Well, actually, they just
okay. It's
recently
working. It was probably just my computer. Sorry.
I hope
false alarm.
everyone could still hear us.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, we're still going.
Yay!
Wait, hang on. We're still going over there.
Mine's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're good.
Anyways,
everyone hears us fine.
Anyways, we'd love to hear what you guys think about how the furry fandom really changed your life, and it doesn't have to be a huge story. If you wanted to, you can, but if you don't want to type too much, you can just type a little sum-uppance. Yes, that's a word. And,
you can always email.
Yeah, you can email it or whatever you want, because we'll have the inbox open if you want to email us something, because we'll be on for a little while longer. Because this is the day that... Oh my word! Oh wait, is it in the link in the chat room here?
It's in the IRC.
Oh, okay. Guys, go to the IRC chat and look at this link that...
I'll try and cross it over.
Okay.
Hey,
okay, never mind. He's going to post it in the regular. Oh, my word, that's funny.
My name is Trey. Don't eat my fish. Don't mess with my fish.
That's great.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Otters are adorable. They really are. Except his name is spelled Trey, but it's no big deal. We get the
fine.
joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, just tell us how it influenced I mean, I guess Hematite Bear already told us, but Wine Slender hasn't told us what your persona is or anything like that.
We know very little about you.
You're a mystery
Tell
to
us. Tell us. Tell us about
Let us
yourself.
know.
But yeah, basically I loved foxes very, very, very much, and especially anthropomorphic foxes. And every time, I've always liked anthropomorphic animals ever since I was, born, pretty much. When I was 3 years old, I was obsessed with Bambi, and I didn't know why. It's because I was born a furry.
I love the Bambi. Just kidding. I actually didn't like Bambi that much.
Yeah.
I think it was just because when I watched it, I was too old for it, and I was like, "Wait, this is stupid. Where's the fart jokes?" So I stopped. But
Yeah. I was a strange little kid, though. I just liked a lot of weird things. Hematite Bear says, I'm a bear. My whomsona is a white male. Nice.
This is actually just my human suit.
Yeah. Yeah, furries are actually really anthropomorphic animals, but we're afraid of what people think of us, so we just put on skin suits.
like Slender is in Slender Man. Slender Man, Slender. I don't like Slender Man. Slender Man.
Wine Slender says, my persona is a demon like Slender Mongoose.
Slender
That's
Man
really
scares
cool.
me. Wait, so
This
no
guy
Slender?
is freaked out at Slender.
Yeah. Have you? Oh, okay.
I think it's Slender, just the word. Like,
Oh, okay.
no, I don't know if it's Slender Man. I don't think that's associated
I
with
see
it.
Slender every time I see it now. I just instantly think Slender Man, and then
Yeah, I mean,
cry and
the word is now associated with Slender Man.
They're coming out with a new game.
Oh, yeah! They're coming out with a new Slender game, and it's like twice as scary as the last one.
It's horrifying. It scares me.
It's, yeah.
It's a species. Slender.
Slender
is a species? There's more than one Slender Man?
Are you going to commit suicide now?
I'm gonna have to.
No. Don't freak out. It's a Slender Mongoose. There.
Just give him $20, he'll go away.
That's lol. That's a Slender Mongoose. Look it up on Wikipedia.
Oh, how does it like kidnap children and eat them? Is that what it does?
Hematite Bear says, when I came out as a human to my parents, they freaked out. Then I had to tell them I might be hetero, and that put them over the edge. That's funny.
Snakes. Okay. That's actually funny because, like, yesterday, me and a bunch of friends were just talking about how, like, someone came out about being straight because they had been bi, and we were all like, because people come out about being straight, and then we were joking around with, like, coming out to your parents, like, Mom, Dad, I'm straight. God damn it, son!
It's just who I am.
We thought we raised you right.
Maybe I hugged him too much when he was a little kid.
I made him play sports too often.
Mom, Dad, I'm a Homo sapien. It's
Son,
just who I am.
Son, I am disappointed.
Yeah, my parents were really cool with it. But it's only because I have the greatest parents ever. They're basically, my dad's entire philosophy on life is, even though I don't understand it, if it works for you, I support you. My dad is the coolest guy ever. He taught me how to make a bong pipe out of a Mountain Dew can. My dad. I'm serious.
That's great.
I know. Like, okay, I'm gonna have him show me next time I go home, and then next time you and I eat some beef jerky, then we're gonna try it. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh God! Don't tell me Christian.
Yeah. It's in today's society. Actually, truthfully, it is worse to be a Christian than not a Christian in today's society.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Everyone's like, Christians, why are they being so mean?
Yeah. And then you meet someone like me, and you're like, oh, they're not all bad. I'm sorry if I sound really cocky.
You can imagine what an atheist must go through.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
We're like the bottom of the barrel. We're like, we get jokes because we knock on people's doors. We get jokes. We get all the Christian jokes because we're considered partially Christian.
Well, Wine Slender says she has to go eat food, so I can see how it is. I know you don't really love us, so you'll be back in about 15 minutes.
How could you eat?
How could
Just
you?
starve yourself. No.
Was it something I did?
Are we not nourishing enough for you?
Yeah, if you watch Claus and Convo, it's food for the soul.
Yeah, only minus the calories. We went over this.
Yeah, we went over how this has
It's
zero
sugar
calories.
free.
Bam.
or actually it's sweet, but it doesn't cause cavities, and has no calories.
No calories.
Anyways, you go
It's
eat your
like working
food.
out.
We'll be fine.
But it does have a
we'll
lot of
survive.
caffeine, so drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, Captain's orders. So yeah, on St. Patrick's Day, did I tell you I tried the Irish whiskey and it tasted so bad that I
You mentioned that.
Yes, you did.
talked about that. Luckily, we had some peppermint schnapps and some. Trey got a bottle of Captain Morgan, which I like. I will drink straight rum because it's a lot easier to down. When you guys are talking about inviting people to AC, don't forget that it will be a 7-day trip. Okay, thank you for mentioning that. I do need to tell people
Yes.
that because then they can like take that much off work and stuff. Because yeah, we're gonna be getting ready, heading down there. It'll take us like 2 days to travel all the way down to Pittsburgh because we're gonna be stopping at at Habitat Bear's place.
And we'll get there about a day early so we can get all settled in.
Yeah, and we can actually.
And then it's a 2-day trip back.
I've never actually been to an opening ceremony of a convention because I always get there on the day that it starts, and it's usually late in the afternoon. So they usually have the convention opening ceremonies at like 10 in the morning. So I was like, I don't want to wake up that early.
Of course,
You can leave the day
couldn't miss
before.
that.
Yeah. And if you've got a job, don't forget to tell them beforehand you will need that time off or you can't take the job. Yeah, I'll just have to ask for the time off. It'll be no big deal. But
What if we don't have a job? What do we do?
You
Just
can make
go.
you can make more money, you can get another job, but you can't make more time.
yeah. Time is money. Or at least time is...
So spend your time like it's your time.
Yep. Indeed. So what else do we want to
As-
talk about?
As Bucktown would say.
Yeah. Bucktown Tiger is the coolest. He
Yes.
tweeted about us one time on Twitter. On the
He
Twitter.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitters.
The Twitter.
it's like Craig
On that
Ferguson says
on
that.
that twit box.
The tweet box. The Twitter.
On the
The
twit
twat.
book.
The twatter.
On the twat book.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. I
We're
can't believe
going-
I said that.
It was like a joke that a bunch of my friends
I'm-
made the other day. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna." I don't know why they came up with it, and it was terrible. But I was like,
I'm gonna
okay,
tweet
that's
your twat.
a little funny.
I'm gonna
Horrible.
wow.
Going to
Okay,
jail.
how about this?
Uh,
Do you want to come over to my... let's
do
see,
I
what
want
was
to
it?
come over to your?
Well, let me... What was the...
You want to finish that sentence?
I'm trying to think of what the actual sentence was. You want to come
They
over
go
to...
all ratings.
You want to come over to MySpace and Twitter, my Yahoo, till I Google all over your Facebook.
Ah,
Oh,
that's great. Oh, that's wonderful.
That
I
is
use it
great.
all the time.
I love that. Dirty joke of the day.
Dirty joke of the day.
We could talk about what would happen if the furry fandom goes mainstream. We already talked about this, but we could talk more about it.
yes, we can.
Because we only briefly touched on it the day we were supposed to go overboard and talk about it, but we didn't. So, basically, Taylor Swift had some furries in her music video, and people are always saying that it could probably go mainstream. So, how would that affect the fandom, and if it's a good thing or not?
I don't want any Taylor Swift fans.
I don't either. But then again, if it goes mainstream, I think what will actually happen is people will just know more about it, and they won't. I don't think we'll get that many more people, but I know we'll get a lot more people that are aware of it. That's for sure, because it is.
It'll just be like the Doctor Who fandom, or
Yeah,
at least in the mainstream.
everything would be easier to obtain.
But at the same time, because furries are so different, there'll still be that other side to it.
Yeah, they'll still be kind of made fun of.
Maybe not everyone will know about it, but the
Yeah.
veterans will
Yeah,
embrace.
yeah. I
They
think.
will know.
I honestly think it won't change very much. It'll change a little bit because a lot more people know about it. Obviously, we'll have a lot more like news coverage and a lot more news coverage. But I think what will actually really happen is just people will be more aware, and I don't think we'll get like it's not going to change the fandom very much. It will maybe a little bit. Like Habitat Bear says, everything would be easier to obtain. That's about it. I mean, because like I said, we'll still be looked at as the weird group. The only difference is people will just know more about it.
Yeah.
It's like saying if
And you'll like we mentioned earlier, it's something that you kind of have to be born. You have to be a furry to begin with.
Yeah,
To really
yeah. Either you are or you aren't. There's
Yeah.
no. I don't know.
To answer your question about would sex with a centaur still be bestiality or like half bestiality, I think it depends on the centaur. Because if a centaur is horse human, right?
It's a horse with a human head.
Yeah.
A human
upper half
torso
body.
on a
Technically-
horse.
Yeah.
I think
Torso.
it's bestiality because the part that you would bang is animal.
Yeah, but then we'd also, think about this. If it's a sentient being, then I don't know. I mean, I guess we could talk about this.
We're slowly turning into Notcast.
Does Notcast do this?
They talk a lot about the sexual stuff.
Oh, I see. It is. I mean, there is kind of a sexual
They're
side
good.
to it.
It's a good show. Yeah.
I never actually watched it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, or listened to it.
It's been a while since I've listened to it, but
Uh,
yeah. But they give some. They're good. They give like a relationship advice and
yeah.
make sex puns. like
kind of like us.
I remember last one I listened to. They made a joke about dick sofa.
Oh, really?
It'd be hard to clean.
Wait, you mean like what is a dick sofa? One that has
A
like,
sofa made of dicks.
Oh.
You'll just have to go look into their archives and yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Anyways, the furry fandom, there actually kind of is a sexual side to it because most furries are sexually attracted to anthropomorphic animals. So I guess you could say it's a sexual thing, but we don't really we're still straight. That's the thing. It's just kind of it could be defined. It could be defined as a fetish.
Humans are sexual by nature.
Yeah, that's
it's
the thing.
just
And
by biology,
it could be considered more of a fetish than,
and that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, it's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
A kind of disturbing point of view.
But when we're here on Claws and Convo, you learn more about the furry fandom. I'm bad at improvising.
Then you want to know.
Then you want to
You
know.
might have wanted to know. We're good. We're good.
I think one of the first episodes I sang a song about Claws and Convo that was a parody of the song from The Hobbit, far over the misty mountains cold. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said.
that'd be neat.
It's in the archives.
I don't remember what episode it is. It was near the beginning, though.
Yeah, one or two, either episode 1 or episode 2.
Wineslinger says, this is a weird thing to come back into.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I was
Yeah.
like, she's gonna get back here. I wouldn't be just.
Did you enjoy your food? Oh boy. I think we were talking a little bit about, the sexual side of it. A little bit. Briefly
Yeah, we
touching on
finished
it.
though. We finished talking about the sexual side, and
Yes,
we're
we
going to
did.
go
We're done.
into a
Let's
new
move
topic.
on. What do you want to talk about now? Do you have any questions about the furry fandom as a human?
Skype is online.
Skype is online.
Skype's online. What questions do I have? What questions
About the furry fandom.
about the furry fandom? I guess I don't really have any questions because I know.
You
about
know,
as much of it
kind of how
that,
it is,
like,
really.
Yeah, and I'm not too into solving all its mysteries and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like,
But kind of your Wineslinger says, yes, I had a sandwich. My brother says sandwich, and he thinks that sounds funnier. I'm like, what?
Xanax. That sounds like Xanax.
Yeah.
If
I'm
is
just
it a
like-
Xanax sandwich?
I was like, it sounds... Shut up.
your phone.
I was like, it sounds way funnier when someone says sandwich, because it's like sandwich compared to sandwich. Like,
Sandwich.
what? It's so weird.
Sanach. I get it.
Brother's calling.
My brother, who I was just talking about, is calling me. I think he might be watching. my word. Oh boy. If you're watching, text me because I don't really want to talk on the phone during the show. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed your sandwich. I hope it was better than us.
We had fudge-sicles.
We had fudge-sicles.
Those fudge-sicles were awesome.
They were amazing.
Yeah. We have more, too.
Oh, well, back to, like, the whole race thing. Because, like, we were talking about how, like, furries could be considered a religion. Is it considered a religion or more of a fandom?
Subculture.
It's like a subculture. Like I said, it's really just a group of people that have different philosophies.
That's what it is.
Culture.
Yeah. It is because we all have our own way of living. Like if you ever go to a house that only has like a bunch of furries live together, it's actually a lot different than most houses you'll be to. Not in a bad way, like as in everybody is really, really friendly.
Yeah, well,
you know?
But I mean, you also got to look at how like a culture is, because I get what you're saying. The whole thing about like a fandom is kind of different from a culture because they're really similar. Because if you think about it, a culture is the whole idea of you have your own like artwork and thoughts
and
about
traditions.
it and all that stuff, traditions
Yeah.
and stuff. But like a lot of fandoms have that too. Like bronies, they have watching the show. They have their own conventions. They have that kind of stuff.
But then we go back to the thing that it's not perpetuated per se by the fandom itself in other fandoms, whereas in the furry fandom, it's furries perpetuating furries.
Yeah.
It's all created within the furry fandom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot closer to heavy metal.
Yeah, actually, it is. Because it's like a little society that generates its own stuff in its own little world.
Yeah, but also...
So Hematite Bear says, what would people think about furries in like 300 years when they look back as if it's an ancient culture? That's a good question. It's kind of like, back in ancient, times when obviously Asia was way different than Europe and Western culture. So, yeah, it could be considered really different if people looked at it. Of course, I would guess that it would still be going after 300 years because, a furry thing is probably not going to die out anytime soon. So,
to talk about how you find it odd that brony cons are popping up a lot quicker than furry cons.
Yep.
I think it's because
it's really mainstream.
Yeah, brony cons are kind of a huge fad right now where everyone's really interested in it and everyone loves the show, but again, it's just a show. So when the show kind of dies out,
and Hasbro owns it.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And when the show kind of dies out, which it will, because really its main purpose is to like help sell toys. Most likely,
it'll die out as soon as they've milked it dry of the money.
Yeah,
Yep.
So they will have to eventually not be as big because the show won't be on. No one will be able to get into it as easily. They won't be able to pop up and see the show on TV because it won't be on TV anymore. It'll be more like furries where you kind of
You're not logged into Ustream.
Hear about
Not yet.
The people themselves, So yeah, that's kind of what I think about it. Like, yes, they're really big right now, but that's just because they're a huge fad, and
that's true.
Once they calm down, they probably honestly will be probably won't be as big as furries once they calm back down.
Yeah,
they'll just go into a
because the furry furry thing is basically on an idea, and the brony fandom is following a show that could end in the next few years. So that's how it is. So yeah, I think the furry thing will last longer.
Yeah.
It started before the brony thing, and it will end way after the brony thing ends.
And kind of back to, not to like backtrack very much, but when we were talking about, because I was having a really fun conversation with like the whole culture thing.
Yeah.
You got to keep it in mind of when you think culture, it's more of about a certain race that like has developed certain ways. Like when Here's how I think. I think of America is like a huge fandom because we have all the races over here,
Yeah.
with all their culture, and they all show it, but not the whole group works off of that.
Yeah.
One of the specific cultures. So
That's
that's
a good
kind
point.
of where, like, because
good idea.
when you hear culture, you more think of a race's way of going up, and being a furry is not necessarily a race, as we were saying earlier about how it's not a race now because it's just we can't
Anthropomorphic.
Whatever.
Anthropomorphicate.
Animal people don't exist yet. And when they do, yes, they could be a race, and yes, that would turn them into a culture, but until then, they can't really. I wouldn't classify them as culture. I would classify them as a fandom.
Or subculture.
That's exactly what it is.
Larger-
Because like a fandom is about being interested in something that's not real, because you're a fan of a creation. So you talk about it a lot. That's Whovians are fandoms of this TV show, you know, and that's how. So like cultures have been around since the beginning of when a race is created and when people are around, and so that's why I don't really think of it as a culture. If you wait like however long it takes for animal people to exist and then come back to me, you can go up to me and slap me in the face and go, "You're wrong now. We're a culture. We're now a culture." And I'll be like, "I'm so sorry." But that's I kind of think of it as more of a fandom. And
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a fandom a little bit more than we make it out to be. Like someone said, you know, like I was talking about the thread on what's it called, on Fur Affinity earlier, that talked about it's just all they literally said all it is just a hobby, which I said I kind of disagree with, but to an extent it's true, because actually probably most furries are probably not as into it as me and Stryker are, you know, so they look at it as more of a fandom instead of a subculture. But the furries that are really into it are the ones that actually are a culture themselves.
Yeah, and people do treat fandoms though like they're a culture, where they kind of, to an extent, almost worship the idea, you know, and that's happens with a lot of different things. Like that's me and Portal. I worship that stuff. Every time I see something, like I gotta get it, and
Portal stuff.
I love Portal 2, Chell, all that stuff. I just love it, and I still call it just fandom because I don't think of it because. I think the biggest, the only reason I think of it as culture is because multiple races are into it.
Wine Slender loves Portal 2?
Yes.
I think that's either drool or droll. What does droll mean?
I think it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay, whatever.
Droll. Because I drool every time I see something. I saw a new thing for Portal the other day. It was and it allowed portals to move. Instead of just shooting it and keep shooting it until you get in the right spot or just spray, you could hold it down and it would keep the portal and move the portal. And I just sat there and was like, yes, I love it.
That's really cool.
I love Portal so much.
I know you do.
Sorry, I'm not going to go into
It's all good. It's all good.
But,
I have a miniature portal device, Wine Slender says. Trey loves you.
I'm gonna kidnap it. Kidnap it. I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna find out where you live. I'm gonna take it. No, I'm not. I'm just chicken. I'm not gonna take it.
He's got a portal gun at home, and if you ever open up a portal, he's going to open up the opposite portal.
And I'm gonna come, and I'm gonna take it and make the ultimate portal gun.
Yeah. Hematite Bear says, if you could create a furry TV show with all furries in it, what would the premise be? Like CSI, done as all furries? That's a good question. We do have a furry movie that was created by furries and for furries, which is Bitter Lake, which most people know what that is. You haven't seen Bitter Lake, but pretty soon, I think I want to get it on DVD pretty soon because it's pretty good, actually. It has really good characters, and it's a pretty good story. It has a really good lore, too. Really. The only problem is it's only 40 minutes long, and it needs to be longer because it's really interesting and entertaining, but it ends at 40 minutes, and you're like, I want to see more.
I feel like furry TV shows would kind of be like animes, where it's not necessarily has its own category. It
kind of kind of like Fantastic Mr. Fox, you know. That could have easily been done, you know, with
by
like,
furries.
Yeah, and
But it wasn't,
Yeah,
you know?
and it could have been, and like they easily could have changed all the characters so that there were no like anthros in it. You know, it's because furries is more allows. It's not so much furry as it's in the individual category and of video of creations. More of it's like putting anthro personalities and animals into creations ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it could be an animated thing, or it could be, which Bitter Lake is basically people in fursuits. It's live action, but it's really, really realistic looking because they have clockwork fursuits. Did I ever show you a picture of clockwork fursuits?
you might have.
I gotta show it to you again. Actually, we'll just show you. I'll take Trey to show him a picture of the cast of Bitter Lake. It's pretty awesome. It looks like the jaws work and they lip synced. Like, I mean, they just did the voice acting and stuff and just synced all their lips with the lips. That's their lips, their voices with the lips. It's pretty cool. Here we go, Bitter Lake. No. That's not what I want.
Hey, look, lakes.
That's what you get for using
Wow.
Yahoo.
I did it. It just came up with a bunch of lakes. Okay, how about if I type in the creator, Easy Wolf? Is there an E on the end?
No.
Wolf? Nope. Okay, here we go. Nope.
Closer.
Just go to you.
Use YouTube. No one uses flipping.
Okay, here we go. I found it. This is the cast of Bitter Lake. Then their jaws work perfectly. Mm-hmm. It's so cool. It was a really good movie. I loved it. It was. I mean, obviously, it doesn't really quite compare to today's mainstream movie standards, but for a movie that was made by like 5 people, it's really good. Like, seriously, it's probably the best movie I've seen that was made by less than 6 people.
Independent.
Yeah, probably the best independent movie I've seen. It's so awesome. The lore is just incredible. Yeah, and here's a Wikipedia page about it. Bitter Lake. Bitter Lake is a live-action English-language motion picture featuring characters in realistic-looking fursuits with a running time of 41 minutes.
40.
Yeah, it really sucks that it's only 41 minutes. But after we're done with the show, I can show you this is Wiki Fur, by the way, not Wikipedia. I can show you a trailer of it when we're done because it's a really cool trailer. Yeah, someday you need to watch it though. It's pretty freaking cool. Have you guys seen Bitter Lake? Anyone out there? Because it's pretty amazing. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Yes.
But yeah, they're supposedly like starting a. I guess people thought this was good, but they thought it could be better, which was true. Which means that they might have more in the future, and that would be really exciting if Easy Wolf came out with another
A sequel.
Sequel. Yes, thank you. If he came out with either a sequel or another furry movie just like this one, only like a different.
The way he ended it is set up for a sequel.
Yeah. So I would love to see it. Hematite Bear says, if Trey was hired to wear an otter suit at an acting job, would he do it? Would you?
Well, yeah, of course I would. Because I'm an actor. So
yeah.
I take something like that. I mean, I like acting, and if I can act in a suit, I can act sillier, and no one will know who did it.
How much will you charge?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know.
I think it kind of depends on the role. Like, I want to make something, honest, definitely, and I wouldn't want to be like minimum wage or anything. I want to get a decent amount for it.
You'd at least want to get a little bit of money for going around in an otter suit.
Yeah. Be sweaty.
I don't remember seeing an otter fursuit. Maybe I did see one that was like an angry otter that was just, funny fursuit or whatever, but I've never seen one that was legit. So no more than $3.95. $3.95. $3.95.
I want more than $3.95.
But yeah. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? Do you guys have any topics?
Nope.
Nope.
You gotta give them a minute. Show maybe they're thinking.
Well, yeah, we're gonna give them a minute.
Just a 5-second delay.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait for a little while.
Any final topics?
I'm gonna stretch your face.
Yeah, because it's about.
Any closing
7:30.
remarks?
Mail.
Check our mail. While you're checking the mail, I will commence a song. Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me wanna wag my tail. When it comes, I wanna wail. Mail. If that didn't overload your speakers, I don't know what did.
You must have some powerful speakers.
Yeah.
How we doing?
We don't have anything new.
Refreshed it.
Well, do we have anything we want to read on the show, though?
No.
Mercedes Lackey.
That's the story I read.
Oh, I think we
about
did read that already.
Guest of Honor, AC.
Yep, we already read that.
And then there's a Senate committee hearing on natural energy and natural resources that are meeting in room 366 apparently.
That's hilarious.
But
so let's see. We got to come up with some last minute topics. Because if we want, the show runs on material, and if we don't got material, we don't got the show.
We ain't got the show. We could always leave with like thoughts for people to consider, and then come back on.
We could.
Yeah.
We
That's
could continue the discussion next week.
Yeah.
This is what will get people to tune in next week. Is give them a taste of what we're going to talk about next week. So what should we talk about next week? We could talk about why different people have animal personas and what it means to them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or only we could go more into depth about it, like why I connect with a fox and why Stryker connects with a cheetah.
If furries were mainstream.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We basically said that it wouldn't change it as much as we think because people would still think it's weird. The only thing that would change is would people would know, more people would know about it. So it'd be more of a...
It'd be more accessible.
Yeah, it's kind of like the really, really hardcore Trekkies. Everyone knows about them, but you don't really know anyone that actually is one, or at least not that far. So I think that people would be more aware of it. It just wouldn't... it would change it a little bit.
It'd still have the roots.
It would still have the roots, and it wouldn't change as much as, because I'm sure the Trekkie thing, like the conventions they have, probably didn't change very much after it went mainstream. It was probably all about the same. So, next week we can talk about why each person connects with a different animal related to their personality. So if you guys want to listen in on that, we'll be talking about that next week.
We could talk about games, movies, stuff that
we could
kind of relates to what kind of things do you think of when you think of furry, like things that are non-furry things that you watch and you're like, oh hey, that it's kind of furry. So
yeah,
that's an idea.
We could talk about what things in the world are furry.
Yeah,
and we could talk about the origins of it too, which a lot of people know kind of what the origins are, but we could talk more about that. Just kind of touch on all these topics if you want, so you can see them next time if you want to listen in. And is it playing music right now?
It will be.
Okay, so we love seeing from you guys. Wine Slender says I might actually be able to tune in next week. I hope you will. You should totally send us an email. You could give us a topic, or you could give us a shout out, whatever you want. If you don't want us to read it on the show, make sure you say it in the first paragraph.
Do we have a Facebook, right?
Yeah, we got a Facebook page too.
So webpage stuff can be posted. That, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. We actually have what's his name from Furcast, the lead guy of Furcast, which is the most popular furry webcast, who likes our page. It's pretty cool. So we got a couple followers on Facebook, and we're really glad you guys could join us. You're looking beautiful tonight. So we're going to be signing off here. Death to Tyrants. And I have been your beautiful hat fedora wearing foxy host, Dante Padfoot.
I have been your other host, Striking Chiguar.
Your other host.
And I was Trey McIntosh. It was great to be on here. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, I'll try to get on more often than I do. It's been a blast.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.